Welcome back to FPRK Radio Podcast, the podcast where we talk about all the things that tear us apart, politics, religion, motherfucking Kanye West. This is fuck politics, religion, and Kanye. Today we are, I usually have one guest, as y'all know. Today I have three guests. This is the Basement Studio Podcast. If you ain't know, we are now coming from the Basement Studios in DTLA. If you need podcast space, if you need recording space, if you need photography space, if you need a producer, if you need any of that, we've got it down here. And today I'm joined by the backbone, the staples, the welcome guests.
Mike.
Yeah,
Mike,
you're not there yet. I was just like describing the people that's here.
Yeah. I just looked over and I saw him like, yo, I thought
we'll get to that. We're gonna get to introductions. But today I want to do a special podcast. We got big shit happening in the world, and so I just wanted to bring some niggas on so we could just round table it, because the world just don't know what niggas feel. So my guests, please introduce yourselves. We're gonna go left to right.
I'm the Holy Kush. Follow me. Yeah.
I mean, it's Hari 6'7", aka I probably did.
Big Mike, wine specialist. Any alcohol questions, ask me.
Straight up, if you're downtown, you need wine, you need some beer, you got buzz, go see this nigga.
Fifth and Spring.
Fifth and Spring.
You know, I just like to say low key, so.
Also, if you need some weed, say that.
He's licensed. So
It's all legit.
This podcast usually goes, I don't know, like if you listeners, long-time listeners, you know how we go. I like to get into personal podcast, personal religion, personal Kanye. But today I'm like, I've been in my anxiety a little bit about the upcoming inauguration. I've been arguing with people on the left and the right. And I just wanted to sit down, like before this came out, I just want to sit down and talk with some people about what's happening in the world. So I guess I want to start with like kind of like what's your personal politics? I ain't looking for like Democrat or Republican, but just like how you would describe your view of the world, and how you see it. So I'm gonna start. We'll go right to left this time.
And me first? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I consider myself like basically I'm registered Democrat.
Okay.
But I consider myself what's the term when like you're in the middle, like you have no
Moderate.
Independent.
I consider myself really independent, but when I was young and I started like when I registered Democrat, not knowing like what I was doing.
Now you say independent, and I just want to clarify this because some people say independent, and independent can mean like far right, far left. You said in the middle. You consider yourself like more in the middle.
Well, definitely myself is in the middle. Like when I listen to people, I'm more so of like I don't go with like because of Democratic this and that, Republican this and that. I look at whoever's talking. And if their views reflect on what I believe in, I might vote right one day, or I might vote left. But just so happens that I've been voting left a lot because I just agree with those terms. But I listen to every side equally, without like I go with open mind.
Right. As one should do.
You're a swing state.
Yeah, I could be.
Yeah. Hari?
I mean, me personally, I just feel, there's definitely democratic ideologies that I have that are promoted, and there's definitely some, I would say, across the board ideas, but mostly I'm just looking for like equality and freedom through business, not just for people of color or gender, but just like for everyone around the world. Like we got to get this shit together. Like I'm trying to get to space soon.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I need to get there. Like that's my goal. Like let's make ideas that get us there. You know what I'm saying?
As Kanye said in 2015 when he first mentioned running for president, it's about ideas.
It's about ideas.
It's about ideas. It's about people with ideas.
Every industry in this is lacking design,
Yes.
It's lacking. I like that.
It's because there's not enough focus on how you make shit work. Execution is the least looked at thing when people create ideas. They don't look at how they execute it. It's great to create an idea, but like, how do you execute it to the public? Like Facebook, social media. It was a great idea, but it wasn't looked at on how does this affect the public on just a 10
Well, I mean,
years.
even with that though, like how would you know when you were creating Facebook, like
Right.
how to evaluate how it was
You
gonna
never
affect
know
the
when you're
public?
creating a classic.
Like, yeah, right. You don't.
No one ever knows. It just snowballs into that. You know?
Right.
It's not really about like how do you
They was just
know?
trying to rape
Yeah.
bitches.
It's
Like they was really. That's all they were trying to do. With
Oh,
top.
God,
It was-
it's
yeah.
true.
Well, Facebook started off in college though.
Yeah,
It was
rating
a
bitches. They was like, yo, we gonna rate bitches in these different houses.
Yeah.
Oh,
that shit-
rape,
it was-
rape. Oh, I thought you
it was,
said
are you
something
single
else.
or
I was
not?
like, I was trying
Yeah.
to go like
You
I was
single or
No,
not?
it was straight up like hot or not, hot or not.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
So they weren't going to be like, listen, how is this going to affect the 2020 election?
Yeah.
And they was
Right.
like,
They
is this,
know.
They
is
never
this
thought
weak
it-
white woman in this house going to like eventually going to determine how that
No.
shit? So yeah, I mean,
That's facts, but I think it's like when I've been on teams where people are creating these ideas and like they're like, okay, then what are the side effects of these ideas? Like if we control all the media and we're telling them we're not telling people, we're collecting it, what is the snowball effect of that happening?
right.
People want to be mad at Facebook, but like still people be posting on the Instagram, you know,
Well,
doing the
Facebook
same.
owns Instagram.
First of all, and home, we going to jump into that.
Mm.
I want to get to Holy.
Okay.
Holy. Oh, so for me, as far as political association, I don't associate with any of them.
Oh God.
I look for who's going to help the black community the most in every aspect of anything that I do.
Okay.
So, like, for example, like the election with Hillary and Trump, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't vote, and the reason why I didn't vote is because I felt like none of these candidates are gonna do anything for the black community.
Okay.
So I know that people say I didn't vote for Hillary, so I voted for Trump. No, that's not what America's about.
Right.
America's about you could vote if you want to, and then you don't have to vote at the
All
same
right, so
time.
I feel you. I ain't vote for that election either because I didn't like neither of them.
This one or the last one?
Both.
Okay.
See,
All right. So here's how I feel about. Go ahead.
So also, I look at these things. I look at everything for what it really is, and I pay attention to history. And there's nothing new under the sun, especially from these copycat colonizers who created this society as a microcosm version of, let's say, Egypt or any of those great civilizations that were once in this world.
So all right. So here's where I go on the vote. The voting, not voting, right? Like I am rather.
I voted this time though.
I voted this time too.
In all local elections, I vote.
And I'll tell you this. I voted last time. Last time I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I voted though, right? I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I've never, still to this day, I've never felt any type of regret about not voting for Hillary Clinton. All the shit that
Facts.
Trump has done, I ain't feel no regret about not voting for Hillary Clinton because she represented as much foul shit as I felt about, like, even if it wasn't the same, like, I felt real foul about either of them. I didn't feel okay voting for either of them.
It was
but
two
I still,
larger paradigms.
right, yeah. So I still,
existed.
but I still voted. And here's why I go, and you know, everyone can do what they want, but here's why I go voting over not voting. The way we're set up now, I think not voting should count as a vote, right? If enough people don't vote, it should be a thing,
that idea.
right? It should be like a thing that's like, we haven't engaged enough people
Right.
to even give a shit,
So
right?
So when you look at
So
but
what
that-
happens?
but-
Like they count all the non-votes, and if there's more non-votes than votes, is it no contest? Or
Right.
what?
Like maybe it's a no contest. Maybe it's just we don't have no government, is which I would prefer. But
A quarantine year.
right. So, but like here's why I do vote. Here's why I do vote, and
Get it together.
I'll vote for somebody like off. Right. I'll like find. If there's nobody I fuck with on a major ticket, I'll find like the wildest nigga on the ticket
Right.
that's like, but has my ideas, right? That has like ideas
Like
that
a
I agree
Kanye
with.
West.
Right. All these niggas that people like, but we'll never be able to do that. And I'm like, well, I'm letting y'all know by this mark on the ballot that this is what I fuck with. And because America doesn't, if you don't vote in America, they go, well, you can't have no say because you ain't vote.
Especially if you're black.
Right. And they, you fought for this, niggas died for this.
Niggas died for you.
And I'm like, well, okay, and these niggas you put in front of me?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'll still vote. And then I voted for Joe Biden. Joe Biden hasn't done a day of office, and I already feel regret for casting that vote for Joe Biden. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm watching.
I mean,
What makes you feel like that though?
yeah, like what I mean, when people say, I always just wonder, like, is it too many cons for your own existence rather than the pros, or is it just that's something where you see down the road as the ideas introduced are going to actually become terrible?
Both. So one way is I voted for Joe Biden obviously because everybody's like, we can't have Trump, we can't have Trump, we can't have Trump, and I agree, like we can't have Trump, right?
Right.
I don't fuck with Trump at all, and I agree we don't have Trump.
Yeah.
What I worry about with Democrats, Joe Biden and the like of them, is that I think they are actually like a bigger impediment to the freedom and equality I'm trying to get to because they offer a compromise to it. Instead of like if Trump is doing something, we're like, nah, the exact opposite. And if Democrats offer something, they're gonna go like, oh, we understand y'all need health care,
Exactly.
but we gonna
Right.
give you this super compromised health care. We understand y'all need student loan for government, student
Don't
loan
forget
forgiveness,
about them stimmies.
right? We going right.
Don't forget about them stimmies.
So now we in a place
Gotta
right
have
now.
stimmies.
We are in a place right now of not like asking, but like begging and celebrating a bunch of half measures. $15 minimum wage ain't enough.
I agree with that.
$2,000
Yeah.
ain't enough.
Ain't enough.
Not like
Technically, actually, like if you go back to when like they used to raise the minimum wage with the way like the economy would raise,
Yeah.
and they stopped doing. I think it was. Don't quote me, but I think it was like back in the 70s they stopped doing it.
That sound like some
But-
Nixon shit.
But what happened was if the minimum wage was to go up as the economy went up, minimum wage should be like $22 an hour, $20-some dollars an hour right now.
And also, I wanna
And then we're cutting ourselves short for 50. We're like, yeah, man, 15
$15 an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
No, we should be getting paid.
Yeah, that's a $10 conversation, 10-year-old
Yeah.
conversation.
On God.
Exactly.
And if the 15 don't work in Arkansas this way, it works in LA. You know what I'm saying?
$15 in LA ain't shit. I want to touch upon the
I used to work for
I like how you
$15
said
an
you
hour.
wanna
That
touch
shit was a
upon it.
struggle.
Yeah, I want to touch upon the subject of Joe Biden and loan forgiveness, which is the most ironic thing in the world because he was so adamant about not giving loan forgiveness or not allowing people with student loans to declare bankruptcy back in the day.
No.
So that right there to me, his whole thing, his whole campaign, his whole being to me is more like being like a hypocrite type. You know
Literally,
what I'm saying?
Joe
All
Biden's
hypocrites,
his whole platform is essentially undoing
What
the
he did
things that
before.
he did.
Exactly.
Right. And-
That's exactly what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. And people were like, oh, but he's undoing it now. And I was like, all right, fair that he wants to undo it, but a better person to undo it is literally any of the other 7 billion, like any of the other 300 million people in this motherfucking in America that didn't do it.
And let's not stray away from the fact that corporate Democrats and let's say right wing, not all the way right wing, but like
Not extremists, right?
not
Yeah,
extremist
moderate
right,
right.
not alt right, but
The corporate
corporate. I'm gonna show you. So it's like this: you have the racist people, the alt right, then you have the conservative Republicans,
Right.
Then you have the corporate Democrats right here hanging out with them.
They're the
smoking
same
joints,
fucking team.
doing whatever. Yeah, they're the same exact people. And then you have the progressive, and then you have Antifa. So it's just like, bro, Joe Biden is no different than a George Bush to me.
He's not.
Right.
Like,
no.
you know what I'm saying?
No,
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 he's
for
a
sure.
little different than
A
George,
little- a little different,
because
but-
like the Democrats play like two different Johns. They like both really like fuck with war.
Geopolitical warfare. That's why I didn't vote for Hillary.
That's why, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And because
The one thing I would say that I did like about Trump though, we didn't get no wars.
Yeah,
All right,
but
We didn't get any
We didn't,
military
but-
you know
wars.
what
We
I'm
were
saying?
in
right.
biochemical wars.
Psychological
fucking-
wars, pretty much.
I mean, like yeah,
And
on,
like-
the, on,
like,
the,
this
on,
nigga
the,
was-
on the
right.
country.
This nigga was going to war with niggas' minds. Like, this
yeah.
nigga sent off accidental.
Coronavirus is nothing but a biochemical warfare from China and Russia.
Whoa, message.
I mean,
we could sit there and go
listen,
into that.
and this is
That's
a good time to
And
remind
now-
everyone
and
that the
now
views
Iran.
expressed on this
Yeah.
show are expressly the views of the people
And
on
my
the
ad
show.
libs,
I'm sorry.
my ad libs.
No, you good. You good. Listen, I'm not saying I agree with you or disagree with you.
No,
I'm just
I mean,
making
That's just how I
sure.
feel.
I-
I feel
I-
like
I say this.
coronavirus is a biochemical warfare from China, Russia, and everybody that's against America because they are using America against Americans. You have to use.
I mean, well,
Nobody can come over to America and fuck us up. Only we can destroy us from within.
Yeah, it's true.
And they know that. And they know that. Coronavirus.
A social disease.
But hold on.
We're the most social country in the world.
A social
Hold
now
on.
you
Could
can't be social.
Could you anticipate releasing a global virus that the global virus would that America's response would be so poor, that our health was so poor that it would affect us so greatly?
If they
Yes.
elected Donald Trump,
Or-
for
Yeah.
sure.
America's health-
Or you can
Americans-
say get into some conspiracy shit. You release a virus that's not really super deadly because it's a 99 percentage, survival rate. You test this out, and then you see how all the worlds act.
Yeah.
And then your main goal is to see, let's see how America acts.
Honestly,
And then, all right, well, they fuck up on this little measly little
Ebola,
curable shit.
yeah.
But next time when we release some real shit, then it's going to be on their ass.
Because think about it. America is already one of the most fattest countries in the world.
Right, yeah.
Unhealthiest
It's the
country.
fattest
Yeah, the
country.
unhealthiest country in the world. Like, just because of free choice, free reign, whatever the fuck they want to call it. Oh, I'm sorry for cussing. Whatever they want to call it.
You can
know what I'm
curse,
saying?
but you just like don't, Mom. I let him know, Mom. Don't
Sorry,
go crazy.
Mom.
He gave us the disclaimer, Ma. We
I just
sorry.
feel- I
if we
talk
we
wild,
disrespect you.
I
Yeah.
just feel like, dang, I forgot where I was going with it. But like,
No, it's one of
No,
it's one of the
you're-
most unhealthiest countries in the
Oh
world.
yeah, it's one of the most
yeah.
unhealthiest countries in the world. Some of the most entitled people in the world. You add that plus, Trump is in office.
Right.
Add that.
Yeah, it
Now-
only takes like 14 months to come up with a plan. If
me
you see
sprinkle
someone
that.
like Trump elected and be like, 14 months, we can create like an entire idea.
And Trump, as soon as he got in, he took away the natural disaster or the natural catastrophe.
No,
Or
right.
whatever
No,
that was called.
Yeah.
It
as
was-
far
it
as
was-
Come on, man.
as far as
that was
any-
4 years ago.
It was basically
Yeah.
the Obama administration made like a pandemic
yeah.
response
program
to,
where,
right.
yeah. And then when
Yep.
Trump came in, they
Cut funding.
cut
Right.
all into that shit. Yeah.
And like as far as conspiracy theories go,
maybe it's not Obama's administration. It could have been Bush. I don't know, but
No, I think
saying. But once Trump got
it was
in, he
President.
cut
Trump.
It comes down like
Don't quote
doesn't-
me, America.
it doesn't matter, honestly, like, what administration created it. It's like this was an idea that was always going to happen because it happened multiple times in human history.
Yeah.
And
Black plague, bubonic plague.
it honestly,
H1N1.
Never mind.
it happened recently enough.
Hey,
for
nigga,
people-
my other podcast is Tuskegee Joke Man. Yeah, I mean, we know about the experiments that went on in America.
and that's a fact. I mean, America's always been an experiment. It's always
America is an experiment. And I think that's like a thing that a lot of people like.
it'll never fail because of that. It will always see. People look at America like the end of times and everything. America is such a successful experiment that it will never fail. The idea of America will always prevail. There will never be a break in people's houses, language. It's not going to be like how it was like colonization back in the days. Like America's always going to thrive for what it is. The ideas, the hamburgers, the McDonald's, those things are always going to be here.
I don't eat that shit though, but
I mean,
I
facts.
know what you mean.
But
More-
th-
more
th-
power
those
to
It's
ideas
the
are
influence over the world.
like it's the new like how people look at Greek mythology or something. Like it's just
Right.
this is the look how these people thought.
Yeah.
They had these ideas, they had these things, and they didn't
But,
they
like-
didn't give a fuck or a
But,
freak.
all right, so that idea will last, but that doesn't necessarily mean that America lasts.
I'm not saying America.
I don't think
Right.
America is going to last that long.
America is the seed into global community, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That's it. There's no other.
Well, I mean, I so I hear
Yo,
that too.
that's
I hear that too.
America's
but like
a bubble, my dude.
America,
It's a
one
bubble.
right. So America, when you look at the empires,
That's
as far
exactly
as
how
all
you gotta
as
look
far
at
as
it.
all empires go, America, we are such a short empire.
Yes.
We have been lasting for very little time, a little over
Exactly.
200 years.
That's what-
and we
very
are
short.
already showing all of the signs that like other empires showed after
Thousands of
But
years.
America is the idea of the last singular empire. The next empire is global. That's it.
All right, okay, and I feel you on that.
Ideas,
Space
we're in the
police.
age of
I would give you
information
that one.
in the fact that like you can talk to anyone in any country right now. You can learn any idea right now. You can go on YouTube and learn how to be anything right now. And because of that, it's not just America. It started in America. So the idea of America, it lives within it. But now the next idea is always just going to be globalization. How do you get to every market? People are thinking about with music. I do music. I'm not thinking about the American market.
No,
I'm thinking about the
global.
global market because the global market is the only thing that's left unless there's another planet that likes my beats.
And on top of that, we have the
That's it.
technology
They
to
might.
reach the whole
And
world.
globalization
They
was
might,
put
I like
forth
that.
by
They might
who?
like the beats, you know what I'm saying?
Democrats.
The beats are hard.
So all
When-
right,
when it goes back, when it goes back to like politics and stuff like that, and like you pick your candidates, I've always been this way, man. I've always felt this way, even as a kid, and I was just like, yo, man, like no matter who you put in office, who you put up there, motherfuckers don't care shit about you or me. these people don't know your name.
Facts.
You know, like you're just a vote to them.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I'm just like, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously you pick the person who you think has the
well, no,
better
I don't think
intentions.
anybody that they put
for you.
before me actually gives a fuck.
Yeah,
But I
so-
have watched people that seem like they give a fuck, that have compassion. I've watched them get destroyed.
Like
I've
Bernie
watched-
Sanders.
You're right,
I was-
Bernie
He got
Sanders.
cheated
gonna
out
ask
from the
you-
DNC.
I was going to ask you about
Facts.
Bernie Sanders a while
Facts.
ago.
Yeah.
How
Bernie
do you
Sanders-
feel about him? You know, so how,
I mean,
how do you feel
I
about
literally
love
watched
Bernie, but how do you
them.
feel
I
about
watched.
him?
Idea
I
too
love
soon.
Bernie. I love Bernie. My whole not too soon.
Wasserman
that nigga
Schultz.
too late.
Wasserman
It's
Schultz.
right. It's a fucking. It's an idea that's been. It's the only idea that there is.
Look
right?
that name up.
There is everything that Bernie
tell
Sanders
you about it.
proposed. Bernie Sanders for me is the most. He's not progressive enough for me, right? I think Bernie Sanders is the least amount of progressivism that we need to like move to the next levels that we need to. And I watched them fucking kill this man.
Kill him.
Kill this.
Twice.
Right?
Twice.
Kill and then they
Twice.
still mad at him about this shit. They mad at him for being like, nah, niggas wasn't ready for it. And I'm like, look in the street, like niggas is ready for these
the
ideas.
thing about it, if when he went up against Hillary, if they would have just let he won the vote, they let him go, he would have beat fucking Trump. And we would not
The
be
thing
in
about
this
that year,
situation.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the leader of the DNC, did not allocate equal funds to Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders.
Facts.
And Bernie Sanders exclaimed this many a times. If you guys cheat me out of this election, there's not going to be enough voter turnout for Hillary Clinton to win.
Yeah.
You know what they was trying to push that whole year? I'm not going to go down that road right now, but they was pushing a lot of agendas that year.
What agenda? I want to know what they pushing.
I'm not saying
Not
it right.
telling me what they was
I'm not
pushing. I need to
gonna
know
say
what- I need to know what they was pushing.
Hey, we still
Super
got-
They
facts.
was pushing a lot of agendas.
Super facts.
They was
Oh, man,
pushing
go
a lot of
into it. I wanna
agendas.
hear it
Super
now.
Y'all
facts.
not, y'all not gonna meet
You can't just start it and
Nah.
just not
Nah.
go
There
through
was-
it.
Nah, I want to know.
There
I
was-
want to know.
They were pushing a lot of
There was,
agendas.
I would say the agendas came down to cultural revolutions and evolutions, and those were needed.
Evolutions.
But what
We don't know about that.
Plural.
I mean, no, I'm not saying that.
One of them, yeah.
I'm not
Let me
saying-
Stop. I'm gonna stop.
I'm not saying that they all growed equally. Growth. I don't know the word, but there was a lot of things happening that year that made it impossible for the right vote to be understood. We needed a Donald Trump in the sense to identify these people, because people of color and people that have been already knew about this. They were like, yo, I don't want to drive through Arkansas. Like,
Right.
Nothing makes me feel
Right.
like, oh, great, Arkansas. I've always
Yeah.
wondered what is going on in Arkansas. I read about
And like
it.
that's like
Or
a
Mississippi.
No.
and
I've never
It
ever
was-
thought about Arkansas until I had to ID someone and their ID said Arkansas.
no. When I
but-
think of Arkansas, I think me and
Shout
my
out to
white
my
homie,
cousins out in
We was
Arkansas.
driving through Arkansas. Me and my homie was driving through Arkansas. Me and my white homie we pulled up at the gas station. He went to go pump his gas, and they let him pump his gas, and I went to go pump my gas, and they was like, "Can you please come inside?" And I was like, "Yo, we got to get the fuck out of Arkansas." Like that's my experience. With
That's how I
Arkansas.
felt in North Dakota.
That's how I felt in
That's how I
Iowa,
felt in
Indiana.
Indianapolis. I was at a gas station. And like that didn't happen, but I was at that gas station. I was
That's crazy.
I was-
Black
I
men
was-
can't
I was
even
driving
enjoy
my
the country
sister,
that we were enslaved in.
across the country from LA to Michigan, and we had to stop in
dope,
Indiana.
but yeah.
And there was a cop that pulled up with the one low light, and he had that
Oh,
army
the
haircut.
one light, you know you
He had
get.
that army haircut with
buzz
the one
cut?
light on top.
buzz cut?
I was like, yo,
Buzz
are
cut?
we full?
Looking
The
like
number
General
one?
Bites.
Yo, let's
Bites
go.
The white number one.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
hold on. While we right here, this is a good point for me to go into. Right now, we're in a position where we just had this raid on the Capitol.
Wow. That was
right-
disrespectful.
Right now,
That's
we
terrible,
we
man.
got 25,000 troops in the Capitol,
In DC.
which is if you keep in count, there's 13,000 in Afghanistan and like 7,000 in Iraq.
I didn't know
So
that.
so right now we have more troops in DC than we do in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Well, they should have had that before.
That remind me of that
Well, hold
Kanye
on.
line.
No, they didn't need that much before. And like here's my shit, right? Everything is terrible that happened there. But we all we all seen them secure a building before. They can secure a building, right? They let these niggas in. And
They
now
definitely let them
now
in.
we in a position where if 2 weeks ago, if they said we gonna have 25,000 troops, we gonna have 7-foot fences, like we gonna have this limited shit, we would have been like, yo, that's crazy. Like if they would have did this for us, we would have been like, yo, that's crazy. And I understand that these niggas is different. They was going into the White House with zip ties and guns, and they was ready to kidnap niggas and all this other shit. Like, and I feel that. But right now, they've got the left in a position where they are cheering on 25,000 troops being in the capital city. You feel me? We're in a position where a few months ago we was fuck the police, fuck all this authority, fuck all these niggas, and now we cheering these niggas on.
Yo, I was telling niggas ever since that disgusting act on the Capitol building happened.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
I've been saying I've never been pro Blue Lives Matter my whole life.
Nah.
So
and now
I've never been.
Someone saying
Lock them up in my whole life.
Someone
never.
Yeah.
I literally don't even know why I feel so patriotic, and it's just like it's so funny to me.
The thing is, it's like I feel like everyone has the right to like protest and you know and share their voice. But once you start like storming like Capitol buildings and government buildings, you're taking it to the extreme, man. That's treason, bro.
Bro, okay.
Like,
I'm Googling.
No, literally.
I'm Googling Capitol insurrection arrest compilations, and it's the most
I got 'em.
funniest thing in the world. It's the most funniest thing in the world. Yo, these people are so entitled when they getting locked up.
No, they wild entitled and like
very entitled,
and watching niggas like go like, oh, I can't believe they shot that lady. All we was trying to do was break into the White House, run up on the Senate, and let them nigga know that we. Then it's like, and it's crazy.
They was trying to flip the house.
I know it's bad to think that way, but because of like the shit that like we've all gone through, I wish they would have shot more of them motherfuckers, man.
Oh no! Well, hold on.
Honestly,
I understand that sentiment.
They were supposed to.
It should have been a bloodshed.
Right.
They should have.
Technically,
They should have turned that shit to Tiananmen Square.
You know what
if
we
Mike
see
Pence
them-
is in the building and you
voted
got a
it?
mob
No.
outside
You
now,
have to mow these
let's
niggas
change the
down.
color of the mob.
Right.
It
Let's
should
change the
have been a
language of the
bloodshed.
people.
Hold up. You know what you see? Hold up.
Unfortunately,
You know,
that shit
you
is
know
what
when you
it
see
is.
like one of them video every time video of black dudes getting shot, right?
Mm.
9 times out of 10 you like that's crazy. And then that 10th one you be like, oh, that nigga had to get shot. Like
Yeah,
like that
you
nigga,
right.
he got a pistol in his
And
hand.
sometimes-
He's
Like,
coming
yo,
at the police, and you like, yo, you shoot it.
It's like, yo, actually, I'm not even really showing anyone this one.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
I'm just
like,
gonna,
I won't
I'm
even
gonna
about
keep it to
retweet
myself.
this. Right.
I'm gonna
That's
keep
how I
it-
felt about them running up on the Capitol. I was like, you gotta, yeah, I mean.
Like you said, it's that 1/10 one where you're just like, that's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
When-
yo,
when
like
keeping it
that
real goes
center,
wrong.
that is, and they keep comparing it to, and I'm like, nah, these niggas, like, they was on the Senate floor with the shouting, we gonna kidnap these niggas, we gonna kill these
With
niggas.
zip
They
ties,
have
bro.
guns, they have zip ties, they have all that shit. And
They
I'm
killed
like,
the Capitol policeman.
yeah. Well, hold on. All right. So here's my other thing too, and I want to talk about this briefly. Everything that was terrible that happened at the Capitol, right?
Fact.
Everything.
It was.
I am also though.
All the
now-
lives lost too. It doesn't matter.
All the
what-
lives lost too.
Yeah, all the
All
lives
right,
It doesn't
let's,
matter.
all right, and
It
we can
doesn't
briefly
matter.
talk about the
Because
lives
one
lost.
side was manipulated to do that. And
You know what?
all that shit could've been
Manipulated or
avoided.
not,
I'm gonna say this:
Manipulated
it
or
was good
not-
people on both sides.
Nah, hold on. Fuck both sides.
joking, I'm joking.
Fuck both sides. I'm real happy to say that shit. But like
It's very
now,
fine people.
Now I'm so cautious. I'm so
was just
cautious.
joking.
I'm so cautious about now the narrative, right? Because there were some terrorists in there. There were some domestic terrorists in there, for sure.
All of them were domestic.
No, they
terrorists.
wasn't all domestic terrorists.
Whoever stormed the Capitol was a domestic terrorist, nigga. If I'm
And no,
with
if I
a
went-
whole bunch of Crips and everybody get locked up,
Why do
I'm
y'all
a
be
Crip.
Crips,
Hold on, but if I'm at a
If I'm with a whole bunch of Bloods and get locked up, I'm a Blood.
If
But
I-
like,
right, hold on, but that's what we trying to avoid.
That's
But like,
Technically.
but like, why gotta be gang members? How come it just be like two of your
Allegedly.
homies?
Yeah,
Because
but
to them,
we're
to
talking
them,
about terrorists
to them.
first. So hold up.
I just think
So
like
hold up,
it's
hold
like
up,
yeah,
hold
it's
up.
like
No, because
If we
you're
talking-
saying Crips or Bloods, and it's easier to target someone who's already affiliated with something that's
That's the
like,
problem.
Well, hold on.
It's so
but we
hard to-
already talked about militia members, right? So if I'm
They
talking
was all
about
in there
if
with
I'm
Trump
talking
gear.
about the difference
I know, I already
between
know.
a
I'm
nigga
not-
between
yeah.
who goes into the Capitol with a pistol on the side, maybe an AR-15 and fucking zip ties, and
Them
always talking about
motherfuckers
doing that
should've been
shit.
shot.
There's those people, and then there's also people
the shit.
that is out there that was like, oh, we gonna go protest,
yeah,
right?
the peaceful people. There's always a
Not.
peaceful side. or
I ain't gonna
whatever.
call it like whatever. They just protesters. I don't like even peaceful protesters. 'Cause any protests I've been in, I've been peaceful. But like, if you want to turn it up, I'll turn it up.
I
right?
was peaceful, got pepper
so
sprayed.
you got these niggas out here that some people are like, oh, they running the Capitol. They open the door.
Yeah.
They just let us in. And now I'm in a picture.
It's working.
Now I'm in a picture looking crazy,
No, fuck that.
and you look crazy. But you like, there's a difference between someone that went in there with the intentions of fucking kidnapping
No,
and killing
No,
someone.
no. But also though,
If you in there,
at the
you-
same time, though, like that is That's against the law. You can't, even though you went
Oh,
there.
no, it's definitely against the law.
I think that's what fundamentals
That's where
comes
you
down
cut.
to.
That's where it's over.
That's where it's over. Yeah,
That's where it's
The
over.
law
You
is
are
where it's over.
Yo,
It's like,
if
bro,
you are
you can sit
on,
there
if you are in there,
Yeah.
you
That shit's
are
wild.
going
That shit's-
down.
That shit's wild.
If you were at the
They
protest,
locking up old ladies that's walking.
And hold on, lock them up because
Lock
they
'em
broke the
up.
law. But they I'm not gonna call them a terrorist. And here's where my issue with it is.
You participate in terrorist
Hold
acts.
on, no. And this is how they fucking got us on the Patriot Act. It's how they got us on NDAA. They go, all these niggas is terrorists. We're gonna classify them as terrorists, and we should be careful. I think like
I get where you're coming from.
KKK, they terrorists, right? Like other like white supremacist groups, we can classify them as terrorists. But if we get to a position of just saying like we can call someone a terrorist and designate them a terrorist and recognize that that has like a legal distinction, right? So if I can call you a terrorist, now I can put you or I can monitor you without due process, right? I can listen on your calls, anyone you talk to's calls. And what they've been trying to do forever, what Trump was trying to do his whole time, was get Antifa listed as terrorists. And what like everyone on the left knew what that was. If you list Antifa as terrorists, now based on the Patriot Act and NDAA, if you're a terrorist, I could call you Antifa and I could call you a terrorist. Now I'm talking to you.
Yes.
They can listen to me because they say I'm aiding and abetting terrorists. And now we can both be detained for an unlimited amount of time, right? And they've worked, so they've been like, yo, Antifa's terrorist, Antifa's terrorist, Antifa's terrorist. They haven't labeled them as that. But now we're in a position where they go, these people are terrorists. And we're going, yup, label them terrorists, right? Which we've sped up the process of by which we can label people terrorists. I think the American government is super good at finding our worst enemy and using that as the on-roads into infringing upon our freedom. So like that's why I don't agree with Trump getting banned from Twitter.
no, it's absolutely.
I agree with some of that.
I will say this.
Because all them niggas that went to the Capitol to storm the Capitol.
I don't
don't
think
think they all did it.
Their intentions were to storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
It was flyers and
Yeah.
stuff out there that said, we are going to storm the Capitol. Everybody knew what was the vibe, bro.
I've been
If they didn't know that was the vibe,
but
then
then-
okay. But they knew that was, if you are
The
in
vibe was that
bro,
we were gonna be
Hey,
yo,
Trav.
some
Hey, yo,
people,
real quick.
wait, hold
yo,
on. Some people did not storm the Capitol that was there
Hey.
and got locked up for being outside past curfew. I understand that. That's cool. But there's people there, the people that actually stormed the Capitol went there to storm the Capitol. The people that's on the front lines, they knew what was up.
But the thing
Exactly.
Is,
No,
the-
wait, real quick.
Go
Let
ahead,
me chip in real
Ari.
quick. And I think that's where it's just easily defined for me. It's yes, there are extremes on every side, and we don't want our government to get involved, but it's really the culture that defines these ideas. And what happened is one side created an idea, Antifa, that they were so big and bad that they could take over the rest of the outside of Seattle and this place, that someone incited someone to go to the heart of our country and go to a building and attack it.
All right, so raiding the Capitol is illegal, and all them niggas should be locked up. And my only point is that they are guilty of certain crimes, but not all of them are guilty of terrorism. That's my only point. All right.
Yeah, and I think there's a slight truth to that, but with everything comes responsibility, first of all, and two, we know that there's a direct correlation of them being incited, not just the day before or that day, but through the idea of Antifa and all these ideas. Now, I know there's always going to be a bad player on every side, but let's not make those players the people that. But what they did was they stormed our Capitol.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They broke the windows, they broke the law, and a lot of people then became domestic terrorists that day because of that idea. Because
I mean, hold on, but like
people died.
Hold on. First of all, some of them became domestic terrorists that day.
Right.
Some people were turned away from that shit that day, right? Some people were like, "Yo, y'all niggas look crazy.
Y'all
Y'all
tripping
look,
out
you're
here."
right. Y'all look dumb." Because I was watching today, and you'll see them, and this is the difference between Antifa and the people that went in there.
Right.
Antifa isn't an actual organization. Antifa is any nigga can go outside and declare themselves Antifa.
It's like anonymous.
Right. Whereas militias have actual membership.
Chapter
They have
members.
chapter members. They have agendas. They are organized. Like in that
I was
group of
watching some
people,
shit about
right?
that
Grand Wizards.
In that group of people, you're going to see different groups of people. One group of people there is going through. They're full tacticked up. They're going through with a mission. They're like they just show this general picture, but they're different niggas. And so when these niggas is in the office, they're on recon. They're taking pictures of shit. They downloading stuff. Like they are on a mission. And there's other people being like, yeah, fuck this. We're in the motherfucking White House. Ah! And they go and just post it on their YouTube. They don't have no plan. And I think it is. I think it might be a mistake for us to label them all that.
No.
Time out.
No. I've actually been in situations where like shit popped off, and I was like, "Yo, oh shit," and then because I was just there
Guilty by association.
by association, so it's the same thing.
And
But is it right?
Yo, at the same
if I
time,
could get caught for some bullshit that that
I know what
did, yeah.
That is our problem.
I know
though.
what you're saying. You're saying like just because it happened to you does not make it good, so it can happen to
Right.
somebody else. But that's not in this case. In this case, right now,
You stormed the Capitol,
just because
bro.
the people that went in there,
direct
just because
correlation.
You
just,
stormed the Capitol.
just because the people
Lock
that
them up for that offense. Not for terrorism.
Listen, just because the people went into the Capitol without a plan, and that's their fault, being stupid and ignorant.
Yeah, that's their fault being stupid
Yep,
ignorant.
but you
and they're
still
stupid
had,
ignorant
you still had
charges.
this, no, you still had the same intent as the person that went in and stormed the Capitol and broke in. The thing is, you're being a terrorist because of the way that you stormed into the Capitol. It was an insurrection.
Define
You,
terrorism.
look, listen,
Then
listen.
I've been a terrorist.
Listen, they stormed the Capitol. Policemen died. People, listen. They stormed the Capitol and stopped something that was going on purpose. Like the intent was to stop the steal.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
There's
but-
no
but-
in between
but-
that.
but-
If you're in there,
Where-
going
And then
or if you're in there
what-
going recon,
what-
you're still in there
what-
for
okay,
the same
okay.
reason. Stop the steal. Stop the steal is a terroristic act because it's going against the Constitution and the democratic process in which that Joe
But
Biden
then-
won.
But,
Then
but
my only-
what is the line between activism and terrorism? Because I understand what he's trying to say is because technically, when we were all in here in LA rioting and we saw
I didn't riot. I
we
was at
didn't
home.
loot.
I ain't loot, but I was out there
Excuse me.
protesting. I was making
We
my
were out there
work.
protesting.
We weren't
We were
going
out there-
against a
I was-
democratic process.
I was at
We
home.
weren't going
Wait a second,
against
wait a
a
second.
democratic
Pause,
process.
stand-
No,
stand by,
I
stand by.
wasn't. I was
my
worse.
job
Yo,
get looted.
stand by.
I wish I would have looted, but I
Go
saw
ahead,
my
go ahead.
job
No,
get looted.
Facts, but stand by, right? What defines that line? So I get what it is. I look at what happened at the Capitol building and what happened in LA as distinctly different because of two things. There was a process in which in LA, the people that were there peacefully protesting were taken off the streets by the police,
Right.
and then the police incited rioting from those things.
Yes.
Right? Directly where these people were there, and within an hour from hearing a speech from the leader of the free world,
Right.
were breaking into where it's almost like
No, that's insane. It's
and
insane.
that's where I look at the difference. It's like, you know, with LA, you can literally look at it and say, okay, well, yeah, there was good people on both sides. You know, there was good people on both sides.
When I said it, I was joking.
No, but I'm saying, like, you could say, yeah, there was looters that were out there protesting peacefully before, but maybe they were mad because their friend is locked up, and
Right.
they walked past the store and they were like, yo, maybe I'm gonna get, but.
I mean, and,
But the difference, what I would call them all terrorists, is because the people that went to that place at that moment in time were all incited to from their person that they look up to.
It's
And that
the intent behind the
and
action.
the intention behind it was that
listen,
to stop this steal.
And I don't want to defend these
when
niggas.
George Floyd happened, the intention was like, yo, burn everything down. It
Well,
wasn't that, but
the intention. There were.
That was to get attention.
Hold on.
that was
The intention
that
was
a
to get
reaction.
attention.
Hold
That
on.
was a
It
reaction.
is all of those things. It is to get attention. It is to go like with George Floyd, which is another thing that I think was like I think they were provoking us. And again, I think America's being provoked right now. And I think we were provoked back then. I don't think there's no reason for all of us to watch that nigga murder that bull. We all watched it, and everyone now in the hindsight goes, "We all watched it. And we all know it was terrible." And I was like, "You arrest that nigga day one, and you don't have riots on Friday, right?"
They're not gonna do that though.
Hold on.
But when was the last time something like that happened on TV?
It happens now. They've been doing it.
On day one? No.
They've been doing it.
They get administrative leave.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then they're at home chilling for a month or two, and then they get charged.
But in the
and then they beat the case, and then they go on CNN and get money,
and then on top
and then they
of that,
go on tour.
they're getting paid.
and then they write a book.
But then on top,
God.
when you have all eyes on the country right now, right? And we could talk about all the other things we talk about.
Yeah.
Me personally, George Floyd is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Right.
Horrible.
It was horrible. And it wasn't that just he killed him. It was him being able to hands in his pockets, look niggas in the eye, right? Look niggas in the eye and go, yeah, what? What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? And then afterwards, we all go like, yo, this is horrific. Yeah. Everyone goes, horrific. Lock this nigga up. And they go, no, we're gonna send 100 cops in front of his house to protect him, right? And then they burn down the police station, which they found out was white supremacist groups or whatever. But like they go burn down the police station.
But that's
still what was needed, right? Yeah. And then out here in the streets, I'm not going. They made the wrong decision. We need a new court. I'm out here going, no, fuck your whole system. Yeah. Your whole system is against me. And I think your whole system is corrupt from the top to the bottom, that we need an entire system. I am out there trying to overthrow the government.
So you're going to storm the Capitol?
I ain't going to go storm the Capitol because like my revolution is way simpler. It's just being like, we've got better ideas and come over here. Right. And they went out there to storm the Capitol. They went out there with mad ill intent, and I think there are differences, right? Like they're out there, they literally went out there. It was going to take niggas captive. Like that's crazy. No, but it's crazy.
No, but at the same, you're looking at two different things. You're looking at people who are mad because over a century and generation, it's the same thing. It's you're being abused. Your dad's been abused.
Okay.
Your grandfather's been abused.
Okay, but
wait.
Hold on. No, I want you to know, and this is the bullshit, but it is the absolute truth. We can compare what the offenses are, but in their minds, they are the same. Like you can watch them go out. We know we are out there because niggas is getting killed. I know I am out there because I am 3 generations deep of names. I know I can watch 1989 Spike Lee movie and they shout out a whole different group of naming niggas that have been killed unjustly by the police. And now I can go out here and see 20-something-year-olds being like, we gonna do it for this nigga, and this nigga. And I'll be like, I've been through 30 years of these niggas, right? And then they will go out there and literally think that them not being, like them having to wear a mask is the same shit.
That's the entitlement.
Right. So like we can argue, like we know it's different. But they think like the emotion that they're out there with is the same, whether we want to.
No, I understand that. The thing about passion, right? Passion sees no color. Passion sees no race. Passion sees no class. Passion can come from anything. Like I agree with what you're saying. These people, like I've been researching this, and there's people that's been getting arrested that's CEOs of multi-million-dollar companies, and people that are senators, and people that are House representatives that are out there because of their passion. And I understand their passion. But the thing is, like they always tell us, you have to direct that passion in a productive way. Storming the Capitol isn't productive. No, who do you think you are? What do you think you're going to do?
With the vice president.
1776.
No, this is 2021. No,
that's
this
what they
is
think.
And the thing is, the thing about that is people, their entitlement is mixed up with a little mental retardation, because it's like, dude, you literally lost your whole fucking life now. You can't go on an airplane. You lost your job as a CEO. You can't do anything now because you stormed the Capitol because you let a propaganda and agenda fuel your passion blindly, and you misdirected all your energy, and now look. And that just goes with anything.
It is too early to say they misdirected their energy, and I'm not going to lie. It's too early to say that.
I'm going to agree with that.
Trump has 100 pardons coming down the line tomorrow. One. Might
Hopefully
not be
Lil Wayne.
Niggas,
Lil
right?
Wayne. I think Lil Wayne's going to be in there.
Lil Wayne is
going
to be.
Bro,
if he
it's
wants
over.
to get Bobby Schmurder.
First of all,
it's over. No, Bobby Schmurder coming out regardless.
This is Trump's.
But no, get him out.
He's coming out this month.
Regardless, but if he take him out right now,
put it at
that would be
Bobby free.
It's over. So wait, time out. Y'all think Trump
be free?
You think Trump got one more trick up his sleeve?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Time out. After he started beefing with everybody on the squad,
he's gonna let Lil Wayne out.
Unless he starts a war tomorrow morning.
He's gonna say.
All right. So do you know what the chatter is on with the QAnons and all the right wings?
I want to hear what QAnon got to say. Fuck QAnon.
All right, no, not QAnon, but this is what the right things are gonna happen.
Free Weezy.
Tomorrow we have 25,000 troops.
On the Capitol.
Right. National Guard.
To free Weezy.
Who are put there by the Department of Homeland Security.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Who
those people ain't
is
gonna do
hold
nothing.
on? Who?
They're not gonna do nothing, dude. After
You
what
don't
happened?
know shit.
After the first
Hold on.
Go ahead.
You
After the
don't
first
know
time?
shit.
Go ahead.
Niggas didn't
After
think
the
they was
first
going to
time?
do something the first
Yo, go
time.
ahead, go ahead.
So they got
They caught
25,000.
them off
They got
guard.
Okay, what's that?
25,000
Dude.
troops
Okay.
being commanded by Department of Homeland Security.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Department of Homeland Security takes their orders.
Right.
Obviously.
Who do they take them from?
Yeah.
The president.
Right. Facts.
National Guard takes their orders from the president.
Right.
The Joint Chief of Staff have already gone out and put out a statement. The Pentagon put out a statement reminding soldiers what they are fighting for. A long, real, read this fucking letter that they wrote to the military.
Like some real red, white, and blue shit.
Niggas,
remember the four
you're
scores
here,
and
you're
seven.
not here to
Yeah.
defend the
7 years
president.
ago,
You're here to
Yeah.
defend the Constitution, and that is your mission. And I need y'all to remember that they wrote this to them. And so what the
I wanna
right
see
Reminder,
this letter.
niggas.
I
Right.
wanna
So
see this letter.
what the right thinks is that Trump still has a day in which we have 25 military deployed. Some of them are and I watch
That's a fact, though.
and this isn't conspiracy shit. I watch 10, 15 minutes on PBS NewsHour and then tonight on NBC News about the very real threat from within the military, about how much military was at the Capitol siege. They had a lady who
I
was
understand
right.
that. And
So it's like we all go, they ain't gonna do nothing, they ain't gonna do nothing, they ain't gonna do nothing. I talked to niggas saying they wasn't gonna do nothing before. And even if they don't do nothing now, I think it's scarier if they don't do something now.
I always thought they was going to do something. Me and Hari always said they was going to do something.
We've been calling this for
Play by play,
play.
Yeah.
Because it all started with the 90 Days of Hell, which was August.
I remember
to
you on the
November.
90 Days of Hell.
And that
I've
was
never
like,
seen a nigga more stressed.
It's 90 Days of Hell. Y'all need to ever figure out what you have to do after that because we're going to all be in this scenario. And what's happening right now is, one, being a person with military parents, I have a little bit, bias to that, but there's individuals in the military, and I don't think anything like that would ever happen. And a lot of people in the military doesn't really fuck with Trump because of his ideals and how he wants to go about stuff. Because generals and stuff, if a general is supposed to be really the second person in charge technically to run this thing, and he's just overriding them, he's gonna tell his troops, nah, you know what I'm saying?
Most of them.
But the thing is,
They don't even hear the orders unless the general give it to them. So it's like Trump can't
Hold
call
on.
it private and say, you
I
and
want-
all your homies
I
do your
wanna-
thing,
did
bro.
Everybody, has
but-
anyone seen Dr. Strangelove and how I...
Yes.
Or How I Grew to Love the Bomb?
yes,
And one nigga locks himself in a room and gives all of his fucking army orders to fucking drop a nuke on Russia because he's like, nah, we're going to push this forward. We're going to push us to a place of no return.
But the thing is, in reality, he doesn't have the actual pull that we try to subscribe him to. Because
That's a fact.
I don't think so.
the problem is he knows that his power comes from the propagation of his name and his fear. It's like
Right.
we're afraid of Trump doing something so much that we have to keep him in our brain to know that he's still there.
His
Which
power
he-
comes from the right and the left.
But
the
it's-
power comes from MSNBC and all of them. I
But-
just told you, I watched 20 minutes of them
the
niggas
attention,
talking about
the
who he's got.
Attention is
Right.
energy,
But
and he has the most energy and kinetic energy in the world right now.
Right.
And the thing is,
And people are just
and
scared
that's-
that he's going to express it in the
thing is,
negative
Yeah,
way.
he about to get lit tomorrow.
with the inauguration and everything,
Inauguration
that's something to be like, okay, we gotta look at that. We gotta look at the day. But the people, they're not that cliche to just do it on the inauguration. They're gonna do it
Right.
on other days.
That's what
They're
I'm worried
smarter
about. I'm
than
worried
that.
about-
and that's why we don't need people to start focusing on days. We need people to start focusing on trends and patterns.
Right.
And that's the thing we don't do. It's like, yo,
Right.
you gotta start looking at patterns.
That's why I
Like,
said the best case scenario is they run on the 20th. Worst case scenario is they go, all right.
yeah, the best
we
case
regroup.
scenario is that they show their true colors on that.
Right.
day.
Otherwise, they go, all right, bet. We
They
regroup.
don't. After seeing the military and all that right there, they're just gonna figure out a new day.
All right, hold
Look
on.
at- look
Now,
at the Unabomber.
now,
Wait,
speaking,
time out,
hold
bro.
on.
At the end of the day, the military got to eat. People got families to feed us in the military.
Everybody
Think
gotta
about,
eat.
think about if they did some wild shit. Nobody's gonna get paid.
What do you? Hold on. let's all remember that this country is very little less than 50-50 split on participation. Remember that every single motherfucker that you see do some fuck shit against a nigga in this country starts up a GoFundMe which gets hundreds of thousands of dollars. Every single one, the same way that we have funds for motherfuckers that get locked
74
up in
million
bail.
people voted for Trump.
Right, 74 million people voted for Trump.
Still, after.
And this nigga who killed Trayvon Martin, that nigga's out here signing fucking Skittles bags, getting money. The little nigga Kyle Rittenhouse that shot 2 people in Wisconsin is flashing white power signals and signing
At the bar,
shit.
at the bar with his
18
mom,
years old.
with his mom.
So I don't want to hear that these motherfuckers is losing their jobs. They not worried about that shit. These
not.
niggas set up shit for them.
You want to know their infrastructure? It's infrastructure. And at the end of the day, they've been building this, they've been cultivating this infrastructure for so long.
Right.
And we are so behind as a
And they
community.
still are.
As a community, and I'll always sit back and sit back and be like, damn, like if they really wanted to turn up and like kick up as far as weapons and all that, they have way more guns than us. Black people don't even live in places where there's guns allowed.
That's why I've always
mostly.
said our
you know what I'm saying?
Our
Like,
revolution,
Our militia is small.
Our revolution is through
And
words
untrained.
and culture. Our power is in our culture and influence and how much they let us control it, and that's where we get power. It's not what fucking.
Hey, but look,
And
we still had all. Listen, no, because that's how we got enslaved the first time.
they
we
came and took us.
because they had guns and we didn't.
Right. But now
So
we
at
have
the-
power. They didn't know our culture then.
Yo,
But
they
hold
knew
on.
our culture. They
We
knew our
gotta-
culture. That's how they took it from us.
I gotta move on.
It was actually trade.
I
man.
said
They
I
actually
gotta
traded.
move on, my nigga.
All right, man.
I come. We ain't
on.
gonna solve everything today.
Moving on.
This is politics, religion, and Kanye. We did a whole hour.
Moving
So
on.
y'all welcome for an hour of niggas talking
Moving on.
politics.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving
This is the
on
religion
up.
part. And like this is important to me because I think it makes the last John more sense to me, and I like to just hear where niggas feel.
Yeah.
So this
And
time
you
we gonna
don't-
go left to right. Hold on. Oh no, we gonna start with Hari. 'Cause
Okay.
we started here. We gonna start here.
Okay, what we
let
do-
me. Where you started? Where you at religiously? What guides you, my guy?
Oh,
What's your
man.
guide, my guy?
You know, honestly, it's a mixture of my failures and my understanding of my own existence, which is my blessings, and that's the only thing that really guides me right now. You know, I fail, I learn, and my blessings allow me to be better.
Which is, I really feel like that is the essential part. I always like, I'm not a Christian, but I like Jesus because it's like love and forgiveness, which is
Right.
like you fuck up, you
Right.
forgive,
Mm.
you take the learn, like you just love yourself and keep going, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
why.
it's like, yeah,
that's why, like, literally, when I say my name is Hari67, I probably did because that's my new idea. It's like I probably did, but respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a disrespectful person. You know, I'm not a person that even is of malice. You know, but I fail, and because I'm so blessed, my feelings are usually just minute understandings. My bad, bros. They're my bad, bros.
right.
Sorry, green big me bear, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
And then like let me learn from that, and
It
I'll
was my
keep going.
bad.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
I'm Hari.
I didn't. It's my bad. I didn't know she was yours. It's like small things in life, but that's,
Oh, I probably did that. Could also be Hari. Sorry.
look.
Look, Hari. Sorry.
Hari, sorry. I was in the Ferrari, and
Alright.
I did pick your girl up in the Ferrari.
What you talking about? Holy.
Yo,
I want to
so
give the government
for
out
me,
and shit.
He's the exact opposite of me.
well, I just basically my ancestors. I just get energy from them, man. My ancestors coaching me through disasters.
Beautiful.
That's why it's championship game and champagne after. You know what I'm saying?
All right, your ancestors was like, yo, nigga, pop bottles.
So I just feel pretty much it's just like I feel like I am the culmination of all my ancestors' decisions. You know what I'm saying? And like I am the perfect present right now of everything that they did. So it's like everything that I try to do kind of is like an ode to them. Like I had to like pay them back for everything that they did, for not dying on the ships over here, for not jumping, for not killing themselves on the slave trade and all of that crazy
Right,
stuff,
right.
through
Super deep.
Jim Crow, through everything, through
Keeping your color.
crack, like through everything. You know
Yeah.
what
It's
I'm
hard.
saying?
It's hard to keep
just
this
like,
color. It's hard to keep
you
this
know what I'm
color
saying?
throughout the
Like-
centuries. If you got this color, it's difficult.
And
now.
like whatever,
it's a
if
blessing.
they
It's a-
figured out everything they need to survive to get here and put it in you, you can count on all that. in you.
Wesley Snipes
Yeah,
should be
it's
like
just like,
a,
I'm a-
decoration.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
Yeah. Question again?
What do you believe? What guides you? What guides you is the
As
question.
far as like religion or just like
Yeah, religion, whatever.
I'm not really like religious at all.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
didn't say
like-
shit about no
yeah,
religion.
yeah.
That
But
nigga.
like pretty much what guides me, man. It's just it's just basically everything I do. I look forward to the next day, man. You know, like there's I can't sit there and be like, just sit back and not do anything or nothing like that, man. Everything I have like a certain goal and stuff like that.
As long as you're moving
yeah,
forward.
just, like it's like Ari said, he has you have like you have failures and you have successes, man, and you just have to just go on the success. So my thing is like I go on the next day and how can I build on what I do this day to create something for the next day, you know? And I'm getting to that point now where it's like, how can I build not just something, but like kind of like I guess you could say like an empire or something like that, like inner empire,
Mhm.
because eventually I'm gonna get to the point where like I'm gonna settle down and I'm gonna have kids and I'm gonna I'm gonna have to like provide for people.
Niggas be so short.
Yeah, so it's like
Niggas be so short.
so
Eventually, I'm gonna have a family. I'm gonna have 3 kids. I'm gonna have a wife.
I mean, like that's just facts, though. Like
I'm gonna have
That is
baby
that
mamas.
is not
Fact.
facts.
It
It's
is,
not
no,
facts.
No, it's not facts.
It's
but
literally not facts.
I'm
but it's-
gonna have 6 baby mamas. That's all I'm saying.
You
but,
got
like,
3.
You know what I'm saying? But like, whatever it is, what it is. But like, eventually, like, if you go, most human beings reproduce, right?
I mean, we might still be at that right now, but we're tipping. Like
Every
it's not
continent.
it's not a guarantee.
every continent.
That's
It's,
7, man.
But no,
Yeah.
but
Antarctica, I want them. I
But
don't want
basically, basically, what gets me going is just
Building towards
just
that.
building towards something bigger, man. Like right now, today.
Ice cold.
Right now, today, I am Michael Hicks. I am the wine specialist. I know all about wine. All right, cool. That's good. I actually run my own shop and I do all that type of stuff. Tomorrow, it might be like, hey, how can I own that shop?
Word.
And then from there, it's like, when I own that shop, how can I expand that shop? And then if it gets to a certain business, to a certain statute, how can I sell that and make a profit off of that? And then not only that, but how can I teach people that come up with me how to do the same thing?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
That's a fact.
my thing is just like it's never ending. It's like whatever I do, I gotta whether it be a failure or success.
Is any of y'all besides y'all? Yours was kind of more existential, whatever. And
Who,
it's-
me?
You. No, yours. The two of y'all was more of like a personal. And I did ask what guides you.
Right.
But what guides y'all is like yours is like your future, and yours is like
Learning
being
from
in
my
the present,
past.
like learning from your past and like keep doing that.
Facts.
Do y'all have a thought of? I want to because it's kind of legacy, right? Like heaven sounds to me like legacy or like whatever, but like some kind of once you're done. Do you have any concern about once you're done, and if anyone gives a fuck about it, and what you want to leave?
I've come to a very humbling conclusion that you can only be popping for 100 years after your death, maximum, right? Unless you're George Washington or something.
Genghis Khan.
Right.
Handsome.
Unless you're doing that type of stuff,
Right.
Jesus.
like the most like you're ever gonna get to that level of like people remembering you every day
Right.
is very slim, and even within that's only
It's
a
nothing.
decade.
Right. It's a blip.
So I've stopped thinking about that and just look more like how many connections I've made that are invisible to other people but are present in my soul,
Right.
that are there. Like, did I bring 2 people together somewhere in the future, like some Star Wars shit?
You know what? Actually,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
one of the best stories I've
it's-
actually ever heard. I was actually at work, and this guy and this girl comes in, right? Like you said, bringing people and souls together. I was at work, and then these people come in, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? How you been?" I didn't know who the fuck they were. and they were just like, hey, you know, it's good to see you again. And I'm playing the part like, yo, yeah, good to see you too. And I'm like, well, who are you? And then they're just like, yo, you don't remember us? I'm like, honestly, yeah, I don't. And they're like, they're like, we're dating now because of you. And I was like, what? They were like, yeah, we came in the store randomly together, and then I asked you for a drink. You came over here, and then they were over there, and you made all of us start talking, and you were like, yo, go on, have a good ass night. And then they started dating, and they're like, yeah, we have a house down here now, and this and this and that. And I was like, dude, that's fucking dope. I was like, yo.
And like that's the complimentary to that invisible. That's what keeps you going every day, but that vision of just knowing like, yo, you know, not the darker side, but just knowing like, yo, I'm doing this shit because it's bigger than what I'm doing, but it's insignificant at the same time.
I try to do it with like a consciousness of, and I'm not like trying to like affect people as I talk to them. I'm just trying to have genuine conversations with people and shit. But I started doing it with a more consciousness of the negative effects of that. Like I don't like being like I was addicted to somebody a few days ago this week. And I was right. I think I was right. But it's still fucking with me. Because I'm like, you know what I mean?
Exactly
I'm like, I don't want to fuck with this nigga's heart. Like, I want to go, like, yeah, I mean, talk and be like, yo, like, I know I said this shit to you, and I know it's absolutely true, but this is how I felt, and like, da-da-da-da. Like, because I have had enough people come to me and be like, yo, you said this shit to me one day, and you thought it was a throwaway thing. But it was something that fucked, like, it brought me to a place.
The thing what people don't realize is that when you come across people and someone might come off as an asshole or this and that, you don't know what they're going through or what happened. Like there's been situations where I've come across people who have been super cool and I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, yo, and I'm like, what's going on? And later on they're like, yo, man, I'm sorry, man, I just found out like something happened with my mans. I was in a bad mood. And it's just like, so some, you know, if you're an asshole to that person, like don't feel bad about it. It's just that at that certain moment in time, it was two different situations crossed paths, and then that's just the way it worked out.
Nah, that nigga stole my swag.
Take that, nigga.
So, like in existentialism, and this is one thing that, I can't figure out, obviously, because none of us have been here. But like afterlife, do y'all have an idea? And I think I've seen it, and I still like, do y'all have an idea, afterlife idea? What do you think is gonna happen with you, and what do you want to happen with you?
I think it's all black, and that's it.
I used to. I disagree now.
See, me, I literally think you just jump into a baby, depending on, and you like.
That's what I want to. That's like my worst hope. That is my worst fear ever.
I just think because and it's gonna be in your bloodline.
You're gonna jump into the baby in the Amazon.
No, listen.
Oh, you think you stay in the bloodline?
No, I think you stay within your bloodline. That's why building your legacy is so important because your next bloodline is. You're gonna have to deal with that shit regardless.
Do you think?
So it's just like the better you do, the better your next life is gonna be.
Do you think when you're reincarnated or you go in the next life, remember stuff from your past life?
Yo, I was on shrooms. I was on shrooms the other day, bro, and I reconnected with my past life, right? And it was a dude that died early in the 70s, bro. Like that's why I really like, and it makes sense. Like
you feel like that was you.
Yo, it makes sense. You want to know why it makes sense though?
Let me ask you a question though. But before you found this nigga died in the 70s, did you know he died in the 70s before you took shrooms, or did you know he died after?
Look, I even wrote a bar in my before I ever took shrooms. You can ask my bro right here. I'm anti everything besides weed, but even before shrooms, I wrote a line like we probably overdosed in the 70s. I was writing a rap line about a girl or something. I said something about we probably overdosed in the 70s, some shit like that, right? And I always, I feel like the 70s is the dopest era of everything as far as like music, as far as movies, as far as everything. Style, just being black is just the best shit.
It's a great
you know
era.
what I'm saying? That's when the women were just the baddest to me in the 70s. And I just feel like I was alive in the 70s because everything I was watching, everything that I watched from the 70s, I just get a different like feel, like you know what I'm saying, than any other era. Like I don't connect with the 80s. I don't, and the funny thing is, I don't connect with the 80s.
Yeah,
right.
I don't connect with the 80s. I think the 80s is trash.
I was born in the 80s, man.
I'm sorry, bro. I think the 80s was trash as far as culture, as far as
a really
a
bad
lot of
cultural
shit.
time. Yeah,
I don't. all that big hair
besides-
synth shit.
Besides crack, man.
Yeah, I
80s,
did
kinda
not.
like
I'm not feeling the
in
80s too
AIDS, it was
tough. A
kinda
little bit of the 80s is cool, but I took shrooms and I feel like I reconnected with my past life, and I felt like I died early in the 70s.
Right.
That's why I have this angry tendency that comes along with
I
me
mean,
being
yeah,
me.
I've said before, and I'll say it
which
again
is
on
crazy.
here.
I know that sounds crazy, but that's just
Most
I
of
mean,
most of my religion comes from visions I've had on psychedelics. Like
Yeah.
that's what I believe. So I'm like, this is the shit that I've seen. This is the shit that I believe. So if that's what your shit told you, like I've had.
But I believe a lot of things though. That's
right.
not just one. thing.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
hell yeah.
I mean, I've had so
I should
many.
do the research.
I've had so many like different types of existential moments in my life that stem from like DMT and psychedelics and stuff like that, to where I know I've been alive more than multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just why my demeanor is always like, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's gonna happen at some point. Chill. Like,
Don't worry about it.
You don't
We
gotta
got-
worry
yeah.
like about it
It's
right
gonna
now.
come,
It's gonna come. Not that I don't get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
My hobby is collecting bags. I like to secure the bag, but
But the bag never comes quicker than you just go, don't worry, the bag's gonna
yeah,
be.
you just
And
gotta,
like you just keep hustling and keep
you just
like
gotta
doing all the shit and you like,
understand
but
it's
don't
like,
worry.
Like, I'm a person that I haven't put out music in mad long, but like I make beats all the time. Like
Yeah.
no one can say that there was not a month I wasn't putting
It's
in
so
work.
dumb that you haven't put out music in a long time.
You
Because
know-
for a long time, I've been listening to you put out music that's dumber than anything I hear out there. But that's aside.
And that's my journey
That's a fact.
to what we were just talking about, existential, internal. It's like, it's not that I've always known my music was good, and like I've shown it to people, the people I trust and everything, but I just never had the platform where I felt like I was on that level. But 2020 taught me something about like being out there and who the fuck I am, and like I'm the head of Voltron in any situation. I'm coming in and I'm making sure it's right. I'm the coolest nigga in the room, the quietest nigga in the room. I'm just doing what I gotta do. Like I move like a gangster and I don't have no weapons on me except my mind. And like that's just how I've like been moving lately. And like that's it for me. Like that's
I love
life.
that I have no weapons on me but my mind because that's like primarily how. Like every time I was like, "Yo, do
Like
we
a
need to get a
Don't
gun?
run up on them.
Do
though.
we? Do we?
Yeah, don't-
Like, is
and
it
the
time
thing
for a
is-
gun?" And I'm like, honestly, I think I'm gonna do better talking to these niggas and
And the thing is-
outsmarting them than I will with the gun. If I pull out a pistol on niggas, they're like, "Oh." What is it?
I'm the type
But
of
I'm
nigga,
like, "Yo, do we, brother?
I'm literally the
brother.
type, on God, I'm literally the type of nigga to feel bad for the nigga that, or the people, or the family, or organization has to go through the wrath of putting me out. Like, my favorite movie is City of God. Like, you kill
That's a great movie.
you kill
That's
the
up
coolest nigga in the favela. It's a wrap. Everyone's done now. It's chaos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that. I put this shit together. I'm the glue. You know what I'm saying?
The
So
glue that binds the pudding."
I mean,
That's my nigga said. That don't make no sense. My homie used to say it about. He's like, "I'm the glue that binds the pudding." He was like, "Nigga, that don't make
You
sense.
shouldn't be putting glue in pudding, but
Yeah.
however it works.
You don't know what they put in pudding. You ain't checked the ingredients. That shit got glue all up in
hot
there.
dogs
Got
and-
Got yellow 5 in them
glue
motherfuckers.
all up. But yeah, my thing with I hate reincarnation. I've said this before on the podcast. So I hate reincarnation. I'm like, we live in a universe with like infinite planets. Even within this planet, we have more species than we've ever identified.
That's a fact.
And if I die and you bring me back as another motherfucking human, I'm like, there are so like it's like if I died and they just rebirthed me again in Dresser, Pennsylvania, and I'd be like, nigga, I've been here. Like,
So would you want to be like
Come back out as a
a
fly or
tree or
something?
something?
I don't even want to come back to this
I don't think-
planet.
I
I
don't-
don't even want to come back to this
Like, the
planet.
thing
I
is,
want to go somewhere else.
I think people's idea of reincarnation is just so flawed as to think that you have the opportunity to come back as the same
Yeah.
opportunity as
Right.
the first time.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's like limited. To
No,
me.
but
Like,
you just-
limited.
because because real quick, stand by. Let me like
Said, stand back and stand by.
This nigga sound like Trump,
Yeah.
boy.
nah. I've been saying that before that.
I mean,
but
if there is anything like beyond, I mean, that would be dope. Like, if you ask me, like, what do I want beyond? I can't really tell you because I honestly think that after this,
But you
there's
shouldn't.
just
But my
nothing.
thing is, what I'm saying is, your opportunity to want anything
Just
beyond
come
that.
in. Sorry, Bree. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have a wine break.
So what I was trying to say is basically like when we're thinking about like what reincarnation is and anything like that, or energy and everything.
It would suck though.
Hold on,
But the thing is, real
quick.
No, real quick.
Would suck though.
He in the middle of it.
Real quick. I don't want to say stand by again because that's where we ended. But
Yeah, don't say
I'm saying you gotta look at the possibilities that this is not really the idea of living that we think it is. Life is uncomfortable inherently. You know what I'm saying? Just the idea of birth and everything. It's an uncomfortable process. There may be better ways of living outside of going through a period of waking up and sleeping and eating and consuming.
Right. That's why I don't want to come back to Earth. That's why I want to be birthed into,
Be a star.
Maybe be a star.
Be a star.
Nigga, I want to be the sun. Nigga, I want to be the sun. I want to be the sun, nigga. I want to be the sun.
All these planets evolved.
Call me Ross.
Right.
Yeah.
A fucking light wave traveling through the universe. Just, like, I don't know. Like,
How do we know that we aren't?
How do we know that we aren't? Right.
Well, aren't we all stardust?
We're going down a rebel hole.
But like and like sometimes I feel like I like the idea of like like all energy is infinite, right? And we can all get to the point of going right, like we're all connected, we're all energy, and blah 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 blah. And if we all are this energy, then it seems more likely that the energy is trapped within this body and this mind that has us viewing ourselves as separately. Right. So what I would most want to be is just part of that unencumbered energy source. I don't think
it's for you to be a part of it. Yeah. I don't think anything in this universe. There's more planets. There's more everything in the universe than you can ever know. So inherently, the universe is telling you can never know as much about it. Thank you.
Thank you. I just hope that wherever I go after this, they have high-speed Wi-Fi. That's all I care about.
I hope I am high-speed Wi-Fi.
See,
I hope I'm like access to all information.
Nigga, I hope I'm gold.
Cheers, man.
Right.
Cheers.
Everything.
Nigga, I hope I come back as God, nigga.
I don't want to spill on
everything my favorite psychedelics have ever told me when I'm like deep in it is this feeling of everything, right? You have all of the knowledge that you need within you. You literally know everything. And like the confidence in that like you'll find it like just if you're confident in that, right? Right. So you know everything. And then even knowing within like humans, like the cool thing I learned yesterday was and I've learned it before, but I relearned it yesterday, is that like your brain deletes your nose from your vision because your nose would affect like everything that you see.
I see my nose all the time.
I know, but
I literally can see.
I can see it right now. I can see it like right here.
I mean, when I focus on
it,
I can see it.
It's mostly deleted.
But I got a big ass nose though.
But see, that has nothing to do. But no, I feel what he's saying,
what
because
I'm saying is,
you can recognize your nose, but do you know that every eye has a blind spot?
Right. Yeah.
Because where the optical nerve connects to your eye, like I can show you a piece of paper and you will see one part, but
and that blind spot goes further than that, and like there's certain types of light we can't see. There's like literally light in front of us that we can't see.
You can't see Wi-Fi.
Right.
Both of y'all got some East Coast noses though, so I mean I can see that.
I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You got a West Coast forehead, nigga.
You got a West Coast forehead. It's a firehead, nigga.
Yeah. But there's mad things happening directly in front of me that I can't see. Right.
That's a fact.
So within that, for me to go like, I know that there's mad shit that I don't know that I do know, right? That's in me. So I don't know if the next life form that I'm in might be this one that like I can see infinitely more than I can see right now, and know infinitely more than I know right now, and still not know shit.
Yeah,
but I want to get closer to knowing shit.
The smartest people know that they know nothing.
Right.
I don't know nothing at all.
At the end of the day, if you think you know some shit, you have no idea.
But the point of like that, knowing that you don't know nothing, it's like a lead follower, get out of the way. Knowing that you know nothing is supposed to be a motivating statement, which basically
try
says
to learn everything.
To learn everything.
Right. You have to be
I don't know nothing, so there is so much for me to learn. Right. So I'm constantly like, I want to know more. And being in this human form,
but some
there's
people
so much that I'm like, right. Someone like, yeah, you can't know everything. So dumb as shit.
So when it comes down to it, like after like, what would be the ideal situation for you to be reborn at?
Not to be.
Okay.
If you've done, and probably only Hari is like enter the deep psychedelic realm, and
12 years deep,
right? And when you do go there, you do have this like kind of feeling of being in a place of teachers and like guides and ancestors, and like you're in this place
you have
knowing
your counsel,
and then you have to come back to this one, right? You got to be like, I'm going back to this fucking place, and I would like to be like, I'll just kick it there for a minute, whatever that shit is there. I don't need to. I don't need to come back to Earth ever.
See, the thing is, it's like
Earth is lit though.
Earth is, but you don't know what Earth is lit compared to what other place.
See, I think we look at like what it could and can't be.
That star in that one galaxy over there might be even more lit.
But the thing is, like, what's like the more lit, it has nothing to do with.
Nigga,
really
you ever
anything.
had space weed?
Okay, but
that's a fact.
Or they could be a civilization that is so attuned that they don't need space weed.
But they could be a civilization that's so attuned that they don't have podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
We only have podcasts because we have issues so deep that we need to like use these words that
I think that if there are aliens on this planet, it's for things like this, because these are the discords in the universe that are actually
you guys
plausible.
Believe in aliens?
I mean,
I think it's silly not to.
It's really
believe in aliens.
It'd be dumb to think that.
I don't believe in the aliens in the sense of the Europeans consensus.
Like outside the solar, like outside the planet. Like they're not from Earth. I'm not illegal aliens.
Wow.
Like outside the Earth. Like,
for me,
I know what you mean. Right, I don't believe in niggas walking around with big ass heads and googly eyes. No, I don't believe in it.
I don't know what they look like.
I believe that there are other things out there that are in different forms that we cannot fathom. Because everything that they try to create, quote unquote, as an alien is a B, human form B.
Like within the same size.
What them niggas don't got eyes? What if them niggas' eyes is out of what if the aliens' eyes out of their kneecaps or something like that? Like, it's not, I don't believe in that. I believe in that there is other life forms as far as living, because it's a universe.
Well, right. That would be like if we
that's an alien, but I don't believe that there's.
You see, okay.
We're coming down to America, and we're gonna. No,
I ain't saying that, but there's an interesting fact. I heard someone talking about like aliens,
and them, so they're so big that they don't even see us.
Well, no,
or they're so small we don't even see them.
But I was listening to someone, and he was saying like basically,
Jahari thinks he's an alien.
Hey, he might be an alien, man.
He might be.
Yeah,
he might be. I think I've seen like 3 aliens.
I might be an alien. You know, my pops.
Oh God, I told you.
My pops is from Nicaragua. He an illegal alien. So
I think anyone who can't dance is an alien.
Well, okay.
That's anyone who can't find a beat, I'm like, yo, this is a deeply human thing, and you're just trying to imitate.
What you trying to say?
Who can't dance? No, hold on. That ain't what I'm trying to say. There are white people that can dance very well.
How you know I was talking about that?
There are white people that can dance very well.
He said, "Who can't dance?"
Who can't? But like some of them can't. Some black people can't dance.
I agree with that though.
Every time I see someone like trying to like dance on
it's quantum physics,
and they can't do it, I'm like, this is a human function.
It's being in tune. It's being in tune with the frequency.
You mean like a 2-step, keep it on beat, or
someone
out there just doing all some moves and shit?
Nah, keep it on beat.
I can stay on beat. I can't do all the other shit.
No.
I stay on beat.
If you hear music,
you can 2-step
and your body don't understand.
Test
1 2.
Right, you're like, I don't understand what's happening.
You hit the 2-step, bro.
Can we get to our points?
Right. Okay.
But I agree with that.
Get to our points.
Hardy, did you have a point?
I'm trying to get to my point.
All right, get there. Now you sing it. Now you got the mic and you sing it.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, it's impossible to think that there's not aliens. I think anyone's definition is asinine. And really, the reality is, it's a marvel of our own existence, of just believing that there's something out there that we don't know. And the human psyche and experience right now is like one of the best in the universe, because it's one of...
You don't know that's the best in the universe.
We don't know that.
You really have no idea.
The only thing we know is what we know. But
you never been a tiger, my nigga.
Wait a second.
Being a tiger is probably lit.
Nah, man, because most tigers are in captive. They're not under
wait a second. You
want to be a pet?
Go ahead. Let me get to all the parts of my point.
Not tiger.
We have a limited perception. We have all these other things involved in what we see as the universe. And what we have right now is an opportunity of knowledge and experience that is something people can strive for. We're never going to know. Yeah, there are better places.
We're not never going to know.
We're all instruments of this universe.
No, we're all instruments.
And a bass is never going to sound like a drum.
Maybe we white.
We might never know.
We might
Right.
never know. Us in this room.
we not,
But like
But the
never,
people-
never get used to the concept
But
that there's a
we-
place that we can never get to.
because we might not ever know. We are a part of something that grows this, and that's the part we're important. Everyone is important in this thing, even through our insignificance of how small we are. That's all. That's how I look at my life.
Right.
So we're going
But
back.
I think
I agree with that,
So
bro.
wrapping back into the point, it's just like I don't make music. Like it's the cliche. I don't make music for anyone else. I make music for myself. My friends enjoy it. The people I love enjoy it. I haven't put out shit even though I should have, but it's not. It has never been about that. But now, when the people listen to my music, they can see the decade of just loving my music. Because I'll play you a beat that I made 10 years ago, and you're like, "Why didn't you put that out?" And I'm like, I was 18.
I mean, you could put it out whenever.
And I was dating a
I just
TT.
care that you put it out.
Nah,
I'm just sitting here listening to shit and being like, yo, I want to
This
play
nigga.
this. I want to play this bangers for niggas.
You're right. You're right.
I'm trying to play this bangers for
We're not
niggas
doing
I know.
We're not.
I'm not doing that.
Just put it
Stop.
out.
doing
Speaking of
We're not doing that.
producers who seem as though they're out of this world. Speaking of producers that have music that is great that they haven't released for me. Speaking of Kanye West.
So is you know what? You can
Go ahead. What?
No,
Kanye will pause. Kanye will always have a special place in my heart
As he should.
because he brought up the
Yeah.
exact same idea that I'm talking about previous, and it would be stupid for me not to think that like he didn't play a part in anyone. His ideas may be bad now, just like if you let an apple sit out too long, it will be bad later.
Which
it may have
Kanye?
started-
Hold on. Which Kanye ideas are bad now?
The nigga that we picked off the tree.
The what?
Then
Strange Fruit? Because that was a banger.
I'm talking about.
that was hard.
It's hard.
I'm talking about the metaphorical symbol of saying Kanye is like a
You think he a rotten apple now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Why? Yeah, why?
Because his ideas are no longer consistent with
Which
his,
ideas? Because I heard that man
his
say.
ideas of communication. His
What do you
I-
mean his ideas of his communication isn't an idea. Communication is how he communicates.
No,
He communicates his ideas poorly, maybe.
I'm gonna say this
And
respectfully.
who says he ideas his? I mean, he communicates his ideas poorly
Not
when
me.
he
You know what I'm saying?
monetizes off of him greatly.
Not
So
me.
poorly
Monetize-
Well, no.
is subjective.
He monetizes off of his ideas greatly, and as great as he would monetize off them better if he communicated better.
And this is
He's
what I'm
already
talking about.
He
This
has
is
a
what
$1 billion shoe company.
That has
Yeah,
nothing to
and
do
he
with
could
his-
have 10.
He could have
Says
you
more.
feel
who?
me?
Says who?
No,
What if he
no,
was the
no,
opposite?
no,
if
no,
he was the
no, let me
opposite
take it,
way,
let me take it.
who says the opposite way will work for him?
I'm not saying no.
It
We're not,
did.
No.
Every instrument has their own sound, baby.
I'm not saying that. I am definitely not speculating on his net worth based off his idea. No,
Right.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
My bad, then.
when you communicate, and this is something I hope I never get to the place of. You have to understand not the evolution of your communication, but the degradation, because you're always gonna not get to a place where you cannot communicate effectively as you did before. You cannot run.
Kanye never communicated effectively.
And,
Ever.
and there's
Ever.
the degradation is going to be through that. So if his method was let me understand more on how I'm affecting people, because it's not the people that don't believe in him was like, oh, Kanye sucked. He's making it less effective for the people that he was affecting before. When I was a kid, when I heard Kanye, like, it's not about the music. It's just about
Hold
what
on.
he was saying. When he's saying, oh, George Bush doesn't care about black people, it wasn't that. We didn't all think that, but we were just looking for someone to say that on a platform that no one thought about.
and
He
reaches
did
everyone.
that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was about to say. Like, you said that Kanye doesn't communicate properly, but we know how Kanye West feels at every given point in time.
Exactly.
So that means he's communicating to people the way that he knows how to communicate with people in the most proper way in his realm.
I agree
People's
with that.
perception.
I mean,
that's
just-
the problem with people. People expect people to handle things the way that they handle things. There's no one way to handle things,
And I'm not expecting to do that.
That's what the world needs to understand right now is that there's no one way to handle a situation. There's no right way. There's no wrong way unless you're like physically hurting somebody, emotionally hurting somebody, intentionally hurting somebody. But if you're just doing it off of expression of yourself, then somebody else's insecurities is on them. You cannot let that be onto
and
them.
I 1,000% agree with that on Kanye. I've argued that a million times. When I say
he is crazy,
right?
though.
Hold on. When I say it's communication,
I don't
think it's crazy. When I say it's communication is the issue, I mean, every word that Kanye's ever said, I understand it. But when niggas tell me it's like, oh, I understand it, but the way he's communicating it can be used by other people in this way. And I also go, that's not for me to understand. All it's for me to understand is to understand what that nigga's saying. And I'm like, oh, I get it. And so I go, I get it. And then the best thing I can do is rather than going, getting mad at people, getting mad at Kanye, going, but they don't understand it. Well, if I understand it,
I can't get mad at Kanye.
I can be like, yo, this is what that nigga was saying.
Yeah,
I can't get mad at Kanye.
There's
not gonna be a nigga who like he could say whatever he wants and drop a single, and I'm gonna be the first person to be like, yo, you heard that new Kanye?
Right.
But at the same time,
fact.
we have to really like carbon date everything. Carbon dating comes from the degradation of like atomic particles in like things, everything.
Yeah.
And this nigga has
move a little bit right though, because I want you in the shot a little bit more.
We have to carbon date him, and if he's a genius, I'm looking for the genius that actually carbon dates themselves. And there's been a few, you know what I'm saying?
But hold on, how you mean that? Like how do you mean that he's not carbon dating himself right now? I can like no other artist. There are a few artists that I can be like, nah, in 2016 that nigga was doing this shit and this is going on in his life, and in like 2008, like, you know, his mom
I think he did
died.
check himself.
No.
Want to know how though? When he went back to the roots of getting into the church and things.
Okay, well, see,
which is my least favorite.
Those things.
Jesus.
No. Honestly, the church thing is implying exactly what I'm talking about. He's traveling back to where he's trying to get to. What I'm speaking on, because the reality is, it's not that he's become less talented or anything like that. It's just when you acquire new assets, you treat life differently. And I'm not saying that it's like the new money, new me type of mentality. It's just that he has to realize his carbon dating. You can't have that big a platform and then say George Bush doesn't care about black people anymore.
Why not?
But let me explain why. Because his idea is that the same in his mind, and I'm not saying but it comes in the same idea that when he says stuff like that, that's when he endorses a Trump, because he's like, I'm going against the system. I'm going against everything.
I understand why he endorsed Trump. He didn't even technically endorse.
He did endorse Trump. It was after the election, and he pulled out before the next election, so it's not endorsed.
Yeah, but my thing is with Kanye in that whole situation, as far as
not technically,
George Bush and Donald Trump, is he went against the establishment both times simply because George Bush doesn't like black people. He talked to Donald Trump simply because he felt like Donald Trump would have a conversation with him. Now, I'm not for Trump. But at the same time, people do make sense as far as, you got to sit down and talk to the people that has the power. Like, you can't be at your job and be like, oh, fuck the boss. And when you want a raise or you want something good or you want a day off, you're not going to go talk to the boss.
You can't be like, fuck the boss unless you talk to the boss.
If you have to talk to
what I mean? Like,
you have to negotiate.
And he only did that for like a year, and there's so much evidence of him doing that as a
ploy to basically his wife help a lot of people get out of jail too. So
and also to be like he posted.
But I think that's the semantics of it, because what she doesn't like my mind has nothing to do with what Kanye is doing. Like, there's an inherent,
but
that's about relationships.
It do when he in the White House talking about the 13th Amendment, and then
talking about freeing Larry Hoover,
right. And then when she go in there afterwards, she's talking about this, and now here we are a day from this nigga possibly freeing rappers, which do we need that? But would he be doing
Trump
that before?
First and foremost? It's fuck
all
Trump.
day. It's all day. Fuck Trump. It's all day. Fuck Trump.
I don't see the correlation, because in my eyes, I see.
But
two people that got bread. They know that at any moment. They probably argue about shit like, at any moment, I could dead this shit for you. Like, on both sides. Like, y'all dead this shit. I'll make a song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it's like I don't look at it like
push
I don't.
the red button.
Yeah, like yo, I swear to God, like, they both got like the football with them. You know what I'm saying? Right. They Russia and U.S. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't see the lesser degrade because one has a different type of influence. I'm just talking about like when Kanye is doing things, he's not being responsible for his actual new power, and I think that's what it comes down to.
But here's
how though I don't see no examples of how he's being irresponsible.
I don't think he's being irresponsible.
I said he's not being responsible.
Right.
How do you think he's not being responsible? Which is being irresponsible.
I think he's doing the most responsible thing that we've seen out of most celebrities, in that he has gotten to a place where he is so powerful. And once niggas get this powerful, they start to get afraid of how they speak. And they start to measure how they speak. And they start worrying about the money. And they start worrying about like how that's going to affect their own personal bottom line.
Facts.
And I think what Kanye has done, whether I agree with it or not, he has taken stances that he knew was going to affect his bottom line. And he said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to say this shit. I'm going to say what the fuck is on my mind. And I think for some of it, he was wrong. Like some of it, he was like when he had Candace Owens on his side, that nigga was saying some dumbass shit. But I was like,
no facts, and I just think that because I quoted earlier, I said we were talking about. I said every aspect of anything needs a design, and I said Kanye West. That's his thinking. He hasn't applied that yet to his new market that he's getting into. Not market, but
he hasn't applied it politically. And that's the thing
is he has the opportunity to, but people have to be critical on him because
would you vote for him?
I'll vote for if he puts together.
Let me get to that point. People have to be critical on him because Kanye has showed that once you put that pressure on him as a public, and it's just he will get there at some point.
Yeah, it was after You Don't Got the Answer, Sway, that he really got that shit. Together with Adidas.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have to have that opinion because I do fuck with that because I'm similar to that, but on a different level.
So I'll be critical of the nigga. I'll be like, yo, I think like he listening to me. But while I'm over here, right, like as a Kanye fan, I'm like, you know what I mean, this music was trash, and here's how I felt was the issue with that. I don't like these opinions right here, and this is why I wouldn't vote for you for president because you fucking half-assed it, and I don't want a nigga to half-ass it.
Lift you up.
Lift yourself was a fucking banger and a testament.
Lift yourself in context. One of the greatest diss tracks.
It's insane.
Of like
the fact that he did that shit in a day.
That was a diss track. That was a diss track.
Ebro thought he got his little scoop on him, and that nigga took a beat which would have been a multi-million-dollar beat.
Greatest diss track ever.
Wait, explain.
You know what's a diss track?
All right, so,
because that's he was supposed to be for Drake, right? Right. Drake probably already had a verse to it. Probably already had a video on his phone to it. Probably already had, and Kanye knew that, and then dropped whoop diddy scoop whoop.
And then
whose beat was it?
And then wait, not only that. Waited for this nigga to get upset and make public so that he could tell people that Kanye didn't make that song because he was whack. He made a song because it was supposed to be for him. And that is a type of petty. That's the type of petty.
That's the reason why he made that song?
Yes, that's why he made that.
He made it for two reasons.
That's why, the bubble, the album art of that out is the bubble he sent to Drake for the beat. Yeah. It's so it's petty, and I get that. And guess what?
Oh, Drake, hold on. Ebro also talked shit on him the day before, and he scooped the story.
I have to be on record. I have to be on record when I say this. I have to be on record when I say this. Drake still did win that battle, but. That's a level petty where I understand, but I get it. So like I can't.
First of all,
I'm a Kanye stan in the sense.
I think that's still
Italian
an ongoing
Kanye
battle.
said, "I would never make a decent record." That shit cracked me up all it.
But you know what? Like,
that's crazy. I never knew that.
Kanye learned. He took them grains.
When that shit dropped, when he dropped "Lift Yourself," I remember I was driving back from Century City with a homie. Ebro had just like leaked some little story on Kanye.
What'd he say?
I forget what the fuck he
said.
It
was something. It was about a hoe.
Yeah, it was some shit.
Hoe he was fucking.
And so Kanye was like, "I'm gonna put some shit out." and then he took this beat that was going to be like a multi-million-dollar beat, and because he's Kanye West too, he was like, "Oh, let me fucking take this shit real quick." Bye, 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 bye. And he's like, "This bar's right here." Like he gonna say some shit. Whoop did he scoop? Boop! He threw a fucking multi-million-dollar track away off pettiness, off of like, fuck you, y'all niggas ain't gonna fuck with me, and so to me, that song is.
So
classic.
Kanye, so wait,
off the pettiness.
So it,
Off the
same-
pettiness,
Drake-
off the
same-
beat. The beat's dope.
Drake had a song that was about to drop with
Yeah.
that beat.
Oh, he
With
came
that
to his
beat.
crib.
That-
He
Yeah.
gave him the beat.
that
Like,
Kanye gave him
Yeah.
that beat.
yeah.
Yes.
Kanye,
Yeah.
bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's the level of pettiness that
That's a fade, bro.
that's Kardashian
Yo,
levels.
yo. If you think about it, good music costs Drake a lot of money.
And then what he do? Wait, what he
But
do
they
after
don't
that?
really touch
what
him,
he,
like,
what
you know
he
what
do
I'm saying?
after
But at
that?
the same time.
What he do after that? When Drake told him the date, he dropped those series of albums because he obliterated he kamikaze every
Yeah,
week that he
everyone.
could possibly think that he had a possibility to drop in that week. No, he said, no, you don't have that.
You have a month.
You try again another time.
Do you think? And personally, I don't. I think Kanye has put out some spent ass music.
Right.
But I've heard some. Kanye's dropped some bangers this year. Personally,
Like what songs?
I like that Nah 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 John.
How that song go?
Him and the baby Nah Nah Nah.
That's the
We
remix.
better-
But yeah.
Nah Nah Nah.
I don't know that one.
I like the John. I like his the John he had with the video. It's some God shit is the title.
Fucking Wash Us.
Yeah. Wash us in the blood.
Wash Us in the blood.
Wash us in the blood.
Oh, that's the one you
yeah.
always play.
Thugs.
Dun, 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 dun. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know Nah Nah too.
Nah, nah,
We
nah.
ain't never been a joke. Nah, 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 nah. Niggas been broke. Nah, nah, nah.
I even like his Joan on Cardi. Like I feel like he's got a different flow right now that I've been hearing out of him for the last year.
I mean,
It sound like an annoying kid.
I think.
I mean, well,
He
one,
did-
my thing about him, my obvious favorite.
He need to
thing-
get consequence back in his camp.
Well, yeah, I think he lost a lot of them ghostwriters. Like
Message.
he lost Cons, he lost.
I don't know if you lost Cons, but if you lost Cons, get him back.
Message.
Did he lose? What's the other nigga?
Fuck. You need Pusha T to push your pen too, yeah.
He got a
Stop
ski
playing with
master, slump master ass name. Like what's that nigga?
Consequences.
Nah, the other boy, Sahai the Prince.
Oh,
Oh.
Sahai the Prince
Sahai-
is so nice.
Did some nice writing
He's
for
fire,
him.
bro.
He
He's fire.
usually has some like dope writers in his corner, which I fuck with.
I think just good music fell apart in general because
I mean, but so did The Rock.
Whoa, don't what?
What
The
you
Rock
talking-
didn't fall apart. They said, "All right, we're done."
The Rock fell apart.
Seinfeld.
The Rock in early 2000s.
Bro.
State Property. Dipset. Ho.
I mean,
I am a whole fanatic.
Right?
The Rock did not. What you say? The Rock did.
The Rock fell the fuck apart.
So you saying The Rock fell off?
The Rock fell apart. It didn't fall off because it fell apart.
No, it was only two people. It was only the top people that was beefing. Everybody else was straight,
But they all went somewhere else.
bro.
State Property, where Beans at now? Where
They
Freeway?
were signed to Jay Z
Where
after
Christian
that.
Leaf?
They were signed to Jay
He
Z
be-
after that.
Where Cam?
He'd be worth
They-
millions if he
he was-
wasn't in his feelings.
Yo, don't disrespect my yo.
But where, like I'm saying, they felt like Hove, and I love Hove. I'm a Hove fanatic. Hove and
The Rock didn't fall apart. The two of the three main people was beefing and had an issue. And that's what happened.
Well, that's The Rock.
Okay,
So if the two main niggas fall apart, The Rock fell apart.
that's like saying like
If Eminem's fell apart, there's only one M.
no, that's like saying like if the
Shut
owners of the Lakers was
No,
beefing
that's-
with each other or some shit, and then the Lakers lost the championship.
That's what happened.
Right, and they never lost a championship,
No,
won
but
a
that's what
championship again.
happened.
That's what happened.
The brother and sister were beefing. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Right, and then everybody picked sides.
Did they fall?
And-
Did the team fall apart?
Yeah.
Or,
Dude, we were
Yeah,
trash.
no.
Dude, I'm a
Yeah,
Laker
no,
fan. That's
no.
when the Lakers were a joke of the league.
That was just a metaphor. We was talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm
we were like,
it's
yeah, the Lakers fell apart.
Yeah, they
We-
did. They were trash. It
Yeah.
was horrible. Kobe had no help. It was terrible.
And they came back and won 2 championships, but The
Right.
Rock never did.
Right.
Jay Z did. Rock Nation. What are y'all
Hold
talking
on,
about?
hold on.
kid?
Jay-Z, first of all, musically,
Whoa.
never came back.
Whoa.
So, like I love 444. I really fuck with 444.
Oh no.
Did Jay-Z come back musically?
Oh, no,
444.
I
And did you hear that Jay-Z and
I love
Beyonce
444,
collab album?
but
Yeah, real good.
So what are you talking about?
It's
On
a
the
real
record.
good. You could've
Jay-Z's
sold that
last
shit in
questionable
Starbucks.
Jay-Z's last
right.
questionable album was Magna Carta Holy Grail.
Kingdom
And
Come.
I like
and then
Kingdom
before
Come
and then
trash.
before that,
Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come is not trash. If you go back and listen to Kingdom Come,
Beaches.
Yo,
I
if you
love
go-
Beaches.
yo,
Beaches. I love that.
If you go back to listen to Kingdom
I'm talking
Come
about Papa
right
Jam.
now in your however old you are, you're gonna appreciate the album. The only questionable Jay-Z album, besides the R. Kelly albums, was Blueprint 3.
Don't know, because I fucking love that album.
I love Blueprint 3.
I love Blueprint.
Y'all
I
not real
love
Hov
Blueprint
fans.
3.
Y'all not
No.
real Hov fans.
No, that was
All my real Hov
if you
fans.
fucking know what the
All my
Blueprint.
real Hov fans know that the Blueprint 3 was
The
Nah,
Blueprint 3
bro.
is
He
too
set up the
long.
fucking-
and then
Hold on,
it's
like
Blueprint
all-
3
like
and
all-
then Magna Carta Holy
Like
Grail. the
all
worst
double
album.
albums, it's too
It wasn't
long.
a double album. What?
Blueprint 3.
No,
That wasn't a double
No,
album,
it wasn't
bro.
double. It's Blueprint 2.
Blueprint
Blueprint
2
2
was
was
a
a
double
double?
album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the joint with
Three.
The
three.
King of the
Oh
Curse.
yeah, Blueprint 3. Fuck Blueprint 3.
Right. The one
all of a sudden.
and that's the, and that's the
Damn,
one that
that's
Jay-Z
how y'all
had his
feel?
first number one song going.
Oh, the New
Yeah.
York, and I always hate that song because
And I don't like that song either
That was
because I'm
the
from New
Yankees
Jersey.
song when they played the Phillies in the World Series. The official song of that series when they
I
played
just
for New
don't think
York was
anyone's-
that song, and I was like, "Fuck
No
that
one's
song." forever.
recognizing innovation.
I'm from
and-
LA.
and-
But you know what? At the same time, I mean,
I
They
went
did
to
play
I
it,
went to a
but
Hov
who am I?
concert
They
once,
didn't
and he
play that
said,
Dodger
"Yo,
games.
I'm gonna play this song to let y'all know where I'm from."
What? Did
And I
Jay-Z
thought-
and Jay-Z and Mary J. Blige concert in Philly?
Nah. This was Hov at Staples.
but what
It was
about
Hov at Staples. He's like, "I'm gonna play this song to let y'all know where I'm from."
Little
And
Ma?
I got ready for like,
Who's
"Cough
Little
up
Ma?
a lung, cough up a lung, where I'm from, Marcy's son."
Ain't nothing
And I
nice.
was like, "Yo, I ain't
I
never
don't know.
heard this live." I got all
Niggas
excited,
talking.
and then it was like,
they-
"From New York." Fuck that
Trav
shit.
really the
Wait,
co-host?
which Jay-Z? Which Jay-Z was the one where he had Young Jeezy open up and then
The song
And
was
Trey Songz, I went to that
I went
concert
to that
too.
one. I went to
but
that
I went to the
I was
one in
there.
Miami. I was
I was
actually
the
it
one
was
in
in Miami.
Staples Center.
Yo,
was at the
quick
Staples
story.
Center.
He had Ice
Quick-
Cube come out and shit, dude. And yeah, dude, would you go to that one?
Yeah.
Quick story,
Okay.
Okay.
quick story. Jay-Z and Beyonce's first on the run tour, right? Their first show was in Miami, right?
Let's get
I
spiritual.
know that it's coming to Miami, right?
Mhm.
I'm like, fuck. I was in college in Miami, broke college student. I'm like, "Darn, fuck, man, I want to go to this concert, whatever. How can I go to this concert without paying? Oh, I'm gonna work at the fucking Sun Life Stadium. Bro,
Right.
I worked there for like 2 football games, right? And then it was the Jay-Z concert, right? I literally, long story short, I prayed. I got in a prayer circle with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Literally, I got in a prayer circle
no
with
shit.
Jay-Z and
Talk on
Beyonce.
it.
Literally,
Talk that
walk
shit.
behind them
Talk that
on
shit.
stage, nigga, and then had to just go out and nigga, I was in front row.
That's crazy.
I was supposed to be working. I said, fuck work. My professor, Miss
For real,
Bell,
for real.
Professor Bell Manis, her daughter
Look at his eyes.
was
Tell
there.
The truth. He's telling the truth, man.
I brought her
Those
daughter to
eyes,
front
man.
row,
I've been drinking too much wine.
and I should have made out with her.
Nigga, you had 3 sips of
Yeah,
wine.
he had a little sip of vino, bro.
You know what it
It's
is?
the rock.
8 people split 1 bottle of wine.
I'ma
I
tell you
don't
what
believe
it
you had
is.
too much. You've had too
Yeah.
much of literally everything else that
I'm gonna
came
tell you
before
what
the
it is.
wine.
I haven't had enough
You
sleep.
need some water.
Why is there no H2O?
It's not
in
even
this
the
bitch?
water. It's the.
Who got a lighter?
All right,
It's-
so
It's Jack Daniels. It's the Jack Daniels.
I
don't
will
like
say
that.
this about Hov. Hov for a long time was like my favorite. Like I would fight niggas in the
Was?
street.
I will still fight niggas in the street.
I still might, but here, like going back on Hov's catalog, it doesn't hold up as well
Too.
to
But
me.
to
To me, Hov's albums
Name-
now.
name-
total-
name-
where does it stop?
Wait. What album is questionable? What album do you think
Okay.
doesn't hold
no,
up?
hold on.
Trap.
Where they go
I'm gonna
is
turn your mic down.
where they fuck up with me now is they have more skippers. I listen to Hov's albums and I skip a few. I skip a few on volume 1. I skip a few on volume 3.
Wait, the life and
Volume
Times-
1, yeah, I don't understand. What song
which-
do you skip on Volume 3?
There's like 3 Johns on there. I
So
skip.
it's
That's-
the intro.
that's-
It's the intro.
Like
That's my
they-
first. That's my
they're
first.
just not as timeless for me.
Unedited
Volume
Hope
3 is
album.
my one of is if
Life
you're a
and Times?
Jay-Z
And
fan,
and
it's
I
top
love-
5.
Life and-
Hold on.
yeah, Life and Times?
I love volume 3. Volume 3 is underrated in my opinion. It's
It
got
is.
some solid bangers on it, but there's a few jumps on that. I'm
What?
like, I don't know. I
What?
don't
It's
know
the
about that.
things that you do that make me feel so.
Yeah.
Inhale, exhale,
I'm a hope spokesman,
exhale.
ghetto
I'm the
spokesman.
dun, dun.
I've removed the roof, nigga. Sun, but the
I
sun
love so
shine
ghetto.
through.
Do it again's dope. Dope man's dope.
S. Dot
Maybe-
Carter, y'all must try
Yes,
harder.
harder.
Competition is nada, nigga.
Snoop Track's fine.
Turn rappers into
That's Doc Carter's
martyrs.
good. Yeah.
Come and get me.
Right.
Come in, that
Come
shit's
and get
fire.
me.
You got this album confused with another album. I'm telling you, this is a hood classic right here.
Yo,
Nah,
Volume
yeah,
three.
everything's good. Everything's good. I
everything
fucked
you're
that
This
up.
is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
it's
this
good.
is
Volume
literally.
three is-
I know all
He
the
came
songs.
from Volume
Yeah.
2 selling 5 times platinum to the
Volume 3's
He went
hard.
commercial with this on accident. Volume 2.
Oh, you know what
On
song?
accident.
What song was it? What song
Hard
was it?
Knock Life.
No.
5 times platinum Hard Knock Life.
No,
That's
that was no, I'm talking
Volume
about.
2.
I'm talking about Volume 3. What song was
Big
it?
Pimpin'.
No.
Big Pimpin'.
Oh, okay. Big
Yeah,
Pimpin'.
Big
Okay.
Pimpin' was.
Oh, come on, bro.
Okay, but what was the other one?
Big Pimpin'.
Oh, do it again. Do it again. He had the
That
video
didn't.
for that shit.
Yeah, but
No.
that one didn't do crazy numbers like that.
That wasn't it.
You're talking about what? Just say it.
That was
Oh, is that your bitch?
Just say it.
No.
That was
You're thinking of Give It to Me, which was not
Down,
on
down,
that.
down. S. Dot Carter.
Yeah.
S. Dot Carter, y'all
We
must.
said, we said S.
I
Dot
just-
Carter.
No. From
I kicked that murder. It's
Shit,
gangsta,
but-
gangsta,
the
gangsta shit.
Oh, yeah.
I spit
That's
that
that's the intro.
No, it's the intro. It's
Yeah.
track number 2.
Yeah, I'm so ghetto. Yeah,
I'm so ghetto.
I'm so ghetto.
keep
People
it
still want to
gangsta,
fuck
gangsta.
with me.
Prissy bitches
My-
don't want to fuck with me.
I'm
so
dropping
prissy.
you back off.
Yeah, I
Right
used to
back to the
like
whole
Sugar, why you do that for?
every time Ho dropped
Holy,
the
you
album.
rich, take your do-rag
Nigga.
off.
Thug
Man,
nigga
turn
to the
around, I'm
end, tell
dropping
a
you
friend,
back off.
bitch.
Thug
Yeah.
nigga to the end, tell a friend, bitch. Won't change for no paper.
Plus I've been,
Been
rich.
rich.
88 been hustling. Linen's
Been crushing them.
them.
Women
What?
been fucking them, huh?
Like, all right, yeah, Ho.
Yeah.
Rap to the thug of this beats. Hard closet clutter with heat. Yeah,
I'm in this
don't
whole.
get me started.
I'm in the whole. I'm in.
Don't get me started. 'cause
But-
Yeah.
we could be here for 2
All right,
more hours
yeah.
and
All
we
right.
talk about Hov.
But I also think every Kanye album has more listenability. And obviously he comes
Kanye was supposed.
8 years later.
Late registration was trash to me.
Nigga, what?
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 I'm gonna go out and
Yo,
say that.
you done. This might be the end
Yo,
of this
this
episode
guy
right
is
now. I don't know how much
having-
time we got.
Go down
Hey,
the
Ho,
track listing for
what
me.
the fuck
That's-
are you talking
that's that
about?
Vino talking to
Hold,
him,
we
man. That's that
major.
I just said what?
Go down the track listing just
You
like
ni-
you did
you
the Hov. You tried to
motherfuckers
say
better do
this
your
nigga
job and
Kanye
roll
got
up
more
and watch out.
listenability than
Yes, I
Jay-Z.
will. Yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah.
listening to
Adam
Kanye if it
Levine?
wasn't for Jay-Z.
You wouldn't still be listening to Jay-Z if it wasn't for Kanye.
But you said late registration.
When the last time Jay-Z rapped on a Kanye track?
And when the last time you gave a
Watch
fuck
the
about
Throne.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's because Jay-Z knew Kanye was good. What
Wake
are
up,
you talking
Mr.
about?
West, fire. Heard him say fire.
Fire.
Touch the sky, fire. Gold Digger played, but
I
fire.
am tripping.
Drive slow, fire.
Roses.
My way home. Crack music, roses.
I'm
Yeah,
on my
you're
way
right. I was
home.
tripping.
You
I was tripping. Yeah, I was tripping.
You
With Cameron on
make
there?
me
I'm ultimate
smile with
Yo,
love.
Kanye, I apologize. I ultimately
Like,
tripped.
they-
At least he came
What?
back in a minute.
Sorry.
Though.
I am so sorry.
That's easily
Yeah,
my
both
second
y'all-
favorite Kanye
good luck.
album.
But you know, there's one song that I really.
This nigga Ashton fucked up on Volume 3 and you fucked
Yeah.
up on fucking late
Hey, hold on, but
registration.
shout out for both of us for owning
Yo,
it immediately
yo.
and not
There
trying
you
to
go.
argue.
That's
Like
all that
picking
matters.
a random
That's all
song.
that
This,
matters.
I don't like this. I hate this beat.
What beat?
Drive slow.
I hate that drive,
What the
slow beat.
Yo, all right.
Come on.
It just
man.
reminds me
So-
of a cold, rainy, poor ass day for me, nigga.
Pump your brakes, bro.
Dude, yeah, man.
You never
hate that
know.
Thanks, man.
You never know.
I hate that beat.
That's like
That-
easily.
that's one. Yeah,
It goes my beautiful dark twisted
one-
fantasy. Late
That's a great one.
registration.
Number one?
What?
Number one. My beautiful dark twisted fantasy
That's a
is
good album.
Number
Very
one.
underrated.
808s and
Very
Heartbreak.
It
underrated.
is a perfect
808s
album.
and Heartbreaks.
Underrated.
808s and Heartbreak is
That's
my
shit.
third least favorite Kanye album. It goes. I don't think I've ever done
You
this
know
on the
what, though?
podcast.
I
Here's,
kind of liked 808 on
Hold on. Do
Heartbreaks.
anybody
Hold on,
got a
hold on.
lighter?
First of all,
Do anybody got a lighter?
it's Kanye West, which means get that door shut though.
It's a door shut.
Yeah.
That's what
My Kanye list goes My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Late Registration,
Okay.
The Life of Pablo. Yeah. College Dropout.
College Dropout was dope.
College Dropout's great.
That was
Jesus. Then Graduation. Then 808s. Then Yay. Then Jesus is King. Did I leave any out?
No one's ever hurt you. Man.
What about we don't gonna count Watch the Throne?
I don't count Watch the Throne.
All right.
It's a collab album.
I'm gonna agree with you on a lot of those. How about you? Anybody want to go next?
I'm good.
I mean, my top 3 Kanye albums is number 1, Dark Twisted,
Yeah. Classic and perfect.
Late Registration, 808s.
All right, that's a good comp.
Those spoke to me in different genres.
I think 808s is his most culturally influential album.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tell you this.
I don't know.
I like all the albums, but I'll say this. If there was an alternative list to that, I'd put Jesus number 1.
Mm-hmm.
College Dropout, and then Life of Pablo.
I like that list. I would go with
Those are his most innovative albums ever.
for me it would be I agree with that.
This
Definitely.
Jesus
the most
is crazy.
innovative
Yeah.
album.
I will go with for me number 1 College Dropout, just for what it means to me. And just the time that it was, and how beautiful the music was, and how pure it was, and just how everything was just how
like-
it should have been the
right.
whole time for me.
It's like not backpack. It's not hood. It's just who
It's
this
just the
nigga is.
it's the embodiment of me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just the perfect blend of it all. It had whole features on there. It was beautiful. Second, my my Twisted Dark Fantasy second, and then after that one, I'm gonna go with Life is Pablo, because I like turnt Kanye a little bit.
And he turns on that
Oh,
jump.
that butthole bleach Kanye.
Yo, I mean, honestly, that was like perfected chaos.
Mm-hmm.
That was Kanye, and like that's why that album you can have 6 different versions of the same song. You know, I tried to keep up, but I couldn't. And like that's how much of a stan I was. Like I have versions of the same
Every
song,
version, yeah.
but at the end of the day, like you can't really keep up with it, like how he did it, and it's something I respect about his chaoticness of like how he drops his music, because you want to be in that type. It taught me something, that level of control you can have with your music, where even though it's out and they have that, but we're gonna drop the newest version.
He's
of
like, no, I got updates.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and
this is my music, and
that's why, like, I'm gonna have to always be like on Kanye's side, but at the same time, like knowing where he needs to be checked. And in my opinion, he should just be checked on like your platform's too big for you to be so free-minded. You gotta be smart.
And honestly, as long as niggas stay on his side while being like, this is how I feel,
Yeah.
but I'm on your side, I think it's crazy that he's
I-
the second richest black
I
man
like-
in America, and like half the niggas is
I
not
like
on his side.
I like the
He's the
Jesus
second richest
album.
black man
He's
in
the
America.
second richest black man in America.
You got more
Yo.
money than Hove?
He got more money than Hove, Oprah, Dre,
Yeah, yo.
Jordan, all them
For
niggas.
real?
He's
He
the
jumped
second
over
richest
Jumpman.
black man in America.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now look, you got.
I gotta look
those are
that
all
up.
assets, and those.
I gotta-
Wait a second, real quick. Let me finish.
And
real
I got
quick.
one question. I got one more
Wait,
question
wait,
too.
Check the Forbes.
wait. Let me say no. It's I'm not debating that. It's just what we need to start doing is what we were talking about, the internal, like people like him. We need to start looking at and recognizing, like, okay, yeah, him supporting Trump is a bad idea, but it doesn't necessarily change the idea of like who the person is and like his ideas, because his ideas are good fundamentally. They're just in a bad position because when you make the person the big bad wolf every time, they start to act like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not giving him
I don't even
the
think he
pass.
acted like that. Like I'm like giving like.
But he
this-
said some dumb shit
My
because
bad.
of
That
just.
nigga say some dumb shit. I was be saying
Nah,
dumb shit all
Kanye
the
West
time.
is the richest black man. That nigga's like number 8.
I said second richest.
No, he's not even second. He's like number 8, dude. He's like he's 1.3 billion.
That's list is old. Check your dates.
I have a-
It's right. It's
Either way-
it's right here, bro.
Yo, but look, who do y'all want to see Kanye West do the verses against? Who do you think could beat Kanye, or who would be a good matchup with Kanye in the verses?
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Honestly, the only person that could go against Kanye West would be 40 Shaheed, Drake's producer.
Drake
What
might
about
be able,
Dr. Dre?
Drake could go against
No,
Kanye.
Drake's not a producer.
No, right. So if you
What
mention
about Dr.
skills, but if
Dre?
we mention bangers,
Dr. Dre's not in his era.
yeah.
Drake's influenced
Hold
by
on,
Dr. Dre. Don't work that way.
and Dr. Dre don't got the John. Dr. Dre got 2 albums. That nigga got
But he's
2
a
albums.
producer.
Yeah. And
No, we're not talking about that.
Even if you went production, Dr. Dre don't got the catalog as Kanye West.
But like,
What do you
if
mean?
you're doing a verses, just like when you saw what's his name?
What do
Yeah,
you
20
mean?
on 20. They don't got.
What do you mean?
go do
You
a
can't-
What do
verses,
you mean?
Name a bigger Kanye song bigger than Gin and Juice.
Wait a second.
But that's
Wait,
that's
what
a
is-
song, not a catalog.
No, I'm gonna name a couple more.
No, it's
Name
like-
a
Dre
song
is a
bigger,
Nah, wait a second.
Dre has a
Fucking
big
Power.
Wait.
bigger than Gin and Juice Power.
How many movies Gin and Juice in?
Yo, first of all, it's uncomparable
Bruh.
because one influences the other.
Right.
And that's why we don't do verses on
Oh,
that
and
level.
then hold on,
Yeah.
Mike. I didn't get to your top Kanye's.
Oh shit, my top Kanye's. I'd probably say like number one, like I'm actually a big fan of people's first albums. So I'll
Yeah,
say
College Dropout,
College
right?
Dropout is probably like my favorite because it's a big introductory of who the person you're listening to
Yeah.
and what they're going, the music they're making. So I would say that one. I would say my Dark Twisted Fantasy was one, and then probably like it'd probably be like 808s or Late Registration. It'd probably be the last third.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
but with me though, when I look at artists, it's like there's a select few that their albums that come after are better than the first. But usually, like how it used to be, it was the first album. It's like it set the tone of like.
Right. I mean, I think Kanye dropped 7 classic albums in a row, which
Yeah.
makes him like the craziest
Will
nigga
Smith.
for me. Like Will Smith, what?
Saying he did a Will Smith.
What
What
was
did Will
that?
Smith do?
Will Smith.
No, I'm saying when he dropped like 7 like great movies in a
Oh,
row.
great movies.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
I'm
you was
saying-
about to be like, Will Smith dropped
yeah,
7
my
classic-
bad.
Yeah,
Like, he
7
did Will Smith.
flops.
Because Will Smith controlled what 8 summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He did one
let's-
movie
let's-
every year that
let's
made
be
more money
honest,
than the
though.
last.
Just because you do a movie every year doesn't mean every movie is great. Just because you have you
Nah,
sold a
nah.
bunch of box office tickets doesn't mean your movie is great.
That's what we're talking about with Kanye. Though.
All right, like
No, that's not
No,
what I'm talking about with
Kanye-
Kanye.
no,
I'm
Kanye
talking about
quality was
musically.
good.
I'm
Kanye
talking
was
quality.
The quality
No.
of his music
Yeah.
and
No.
actually
But, like,
that
no.
it sold that
Okay, so-
well.
so, for instance,
that's rare.
Will
Wait,
Smith,
Wait a second, but
I'm Against the Curve. Independence Day at the time, it was cool, but the shit is a trash movie. I watched it today.
Independence Day?
Independence Day was
Independence Day?
horrible. It was horrible.
With Bill Pullman?
I don't even-
Independence
I don't
Day
even-
is horrible, bro.
It didn't transcend
Yo.
the time, just
Who-
like you said.
Yeah.
Jay-Z album
Yeah,
did,
it
which
has-
was a
it's a
lie.
I took it back. I
movie
took it
now.
back.
All right.
Yeah.
At the time, but even then as a kid, I was like the one instance when they're like.
it's a movie about
I
a
know.
fucking alien invasion.
No, it doesn't mean it's
In the
it doesn't mean
90s.
it got to be bad. It was a bad.
What would
movie.
make it
wasn't
better?
good.
Jurassic Park's
Yo,
transcended
yo.
time is still good to this day.
Jurassic
Fair.
Park
And
was
that's
great.
earlier than that.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. The first one is amazing. It's a masterpiece.
So okay,
To this day.
It's a
To
masterpiece.
this day.
All right, hold
Yes.
on. All right,
To this
we're gonna
day.
wrap this up. What
Yeah.
would it, what I want? This is what I want from everyone. And
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but what would it take, if it's possible, for you to vote for Kanye West in 2024?
Oh, there's no possible way I'll vote for that motherfucker.
It's crazy.
Excuse
It's
my French.
crazy to me.
No. The only way I would vote for Kanye West. This is tough, man. Only way I vote for Kanye West is if over the years he's campaigning, I'm seeing that he's stable, he's not crazy, he's actually like really saying some really stuff that actually like trends or that actually like reaches out towards me. And then his opponent gotta be like an alien or a Nazi. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the only
Super
reason,
possible.
like, I would,
those things.
Realistically, when I come to voting, I usually vote for people who have been in the game for a while.
You just told me you didn't vote for the last 2 elections.
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so,
when I did,
But when I do vote,
12 years ago.
Hari,
what would it take for me to vote for Kanye?
yeah.
Realistically, somewhat exactly what Mike said. There has to be some level of stability, but what he really needs to do is understand his own progression as far as communicating with the public. and trolling right now is his way of saying like, oh, well, everyone else is doing it, so this is how I'm gonna attack it because I don't know, I'm not anyone's wife or whatever, but it works in other senses, and it could be easy to get construed like, oh, this is how it works by trolling and being like this person and everything. When really, it just comes back down to like doing what Hov is doing, just being the background person. If Kanye was supporting like, if this nigga was just like giving every month a nigga from every state a new computer.
You don't know that he ain't doing that.
The thing is, we do know because that's how his money is.
Okay.
His money is moving like that because he would have already said it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. But
try it.
Yeah.
Holy.
I mean, that's
Holy.
my opinion.
For me, for Kanye, listen to me, yeah. If you want my vote in 2024, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to do a couple things. First thing, you're going to have to give me a deal with Adidas.
Get him.
One.
Second thing.
You're going to see why soon, but one.
And then 10% for his manager.
Two.
Second thing, you got to work out a deal with me, signed to your label, and the whole squad.
Second personal reason.
Okay. Third thing, realistically,
10% more on his manager.
which that's still realistic, but also third thing, I'm going to need Kanye to understand that this shit ain't for play. Like you feel me? Like I feel like he thinks this shit is for play because like when people make it out of the hood, when people make it out of the thing, they just sometimes forget a lot of the times that this shit ain't for play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he kind of lost himself as far as like the struggle. So it's like he got to find himself again, and also he got to give niggas. He got to go as hard for us as Trump did for his constituents, and I feel like that for any of my
facts
political people that want my vote. Go hard.
Right.
Go hard for my vote.
And that's exactly like, my whole shit is like you got to put together a whole platform. You got to do some shit that matters. And like really put it together and like have a plan. You don't have to have all the answers, but I just need him to have like a plan that lets me know that this nigga is like, oh, this is something I got to take serious for 4 years. And that's all I really need for him. But we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to go around. Everybody let us know where we can find you at. Besides, obviously, you can find us here at Basement Studios. You can look up at Basement Studio. Check that shit out. Hit us up.
Basement Studio LA.
Yeah. BASSMENT. You'll see it on the screen
LA.
right here.
Yeah.
Holy, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at the Holy Kush on Instagram. That's where you can find me.
Right.
And the Holy Kush on Spotify and all streaming services.
Har.
You can find me at Instagram, Yo.
You try to stay low.
You can find me at Instagram, middle_finger101.
Also, Buzz on 5th and Spring.
And Buzz, come
go
down.
find out about that wine.
If you in downtown, come to 5th and Spring, Buzz Wine Beer Shop.
Tasty.
And I've been Aston Wallace, your host. You can find me at Fats Ramon on everything. You can find me at FPRK Radio for this podcast. You can find me on Aston Wallace on YouTube. You can like and subscribe to this podcast. Share it with your friends.
Do that.
And obviously, we coming from Basement Studio.
Live.
We'll be back to you shortly. I hope you survive the apocalypse. Peace.